I'm going to start today's show with a little quiz, little question. Welcome, everybody. MJ, Fester, Michelle. MJ Morning Show, Thursday morning. The question is, today is a very big day for some people. Do you know why today is a very big day for some people? Michelle, Fester, weigh in.
Yeah.
Oh, and if Fester weighs in, it's going to be about 3:37. Where's your weighing going to be?
I feel a little bloated today.
All right. Anyone know?
Maybe 346.
Yeah.
Isn't today some kind of like Indigenous People Day or something?
An Indigenous Peoples Day.
Yeah, so for some people it's...
Just stop right there. No. Anyone? I might have to go to phones on this. You know what? Let me, Michelle, you don't know, do you?
I have no idea.
All right, let's just go right to phones. So why is today early phones on the MJ Morning Show right out of the chute? This is like Chutes and Ladders on radio. Is that game still around?
You know what? I think it is.
Like, do kids play those old board games, or are they board, B-O-R-E-D games?
I'd say we have a stack of board games at the house, though. We don't touch any. We play it maybe once.
Do they still have the game of life? You know, you spun that wheel, and I just remember that our wheel never spun right, and we had to, like, spit in it to get the wheel. You had to lube up the wheel to get it to spin.
Much like life.
You know,
Disgusting.
do you know what I'm talking? You got to spit on that thing.
No.
You never had did you ever have the game of life?
Yeah, it's on our shelf.
Oh, we actually have it?
We have all of my old games.
Oh, I know we have a bunch of old games. I guess I've never taken an inventory on which old games of yours that we have at the house.
Game of Life. Mousetrap.
Yeah. Mousetrap.
I loved that game.
Oh, man.
Stop Thief, where it had that little electronic device, or like it was one of the first, electronic, like little things that came with a board game.
Man, all the damn toys. I remember. What did I had? There was my brother had Merlin. There was like some Merlin-looking device, like a telephone shaped thing named Merlin, and of course Simon. And I remember when I was a kid, mid-'70s, the movie Earthquake came out, and there was like this big, huge like toy. It was like this wasn't a game. This was just a toy. So, the toys and games, I kind of lump them in the same category. There was a big toy for Earthquake the movie, and it was like a 4-foot tall skyscraper that you had to put together. It was mostly like cardboard, and then it was on a plastic base, and you like push this button and it made the building shake.
How traumatic is that?
Yeah.
I mean,
oh my God.
That's a game.
It's like having a garden hose game outside called Hurricane. It's awful.
Oh my gosh.
Did you find it?
No, on Etsy, I could sell my Stop Thief game for $250.
Well, do it. Get that crap off our shelf. Your old toys
no.
are just cluttering up our house.
Oh no, we're gonna play it this weekend.
Okay. It's probably missing 8 parts.
No, I took very good care of my stuff.
Oh, man. The old games. But I just remember the game of life with that wheel in the middle that hours it would not spin. And again, we had to like spit in the wheel to.
Never happened in my house. No.
For whatever reason, the damn wheel just did not work.
I didn't love that one.
Yeah, I don't know if I've ever played the game of life, the board game of life.
I had to go.
Huck to it.
Yeah.
One move in bed that makes a man go crazy every time.
You gotta give him that huck to it and spit on that thing.
Yeah, no, spit on the wheel. All right, so folks, let me go back to my original question here. It's 6:04. It's the opening salvo, the opening segment here on the MJ Morning Show. Why is today really important for some people? Do you know? 800-990-1047. Do you know why today is a big, big day? Not for everybody, but for some people, this is huge. That's Y-U-G-E, huge. 800-990-1047. So early, first listeners on the show this morning as we open this sucker up, do you know why today is a big day for some people? Do you know? 800-990-1047. Let's go. Fire up the phones. Let's see if anyone knows why today is big. Big, important day. 800-990-1047. Call me now. Why is today a big day? 800-990-1047. Now, Andrew, do you know the answer? All right, so Andrew apparently does know the answer. He just said it in my headphones.
This better be a good answer. I mean, if it's like, oh, it's tax filing deadline for dwarfs, I mean, I'd be really disappointed.
All right, Andrew's going to screen calls. He's only going to put through correct guesses. So if there are no correct guesses, I'm not going to take phone calls because I don't want to, drag this out and belabor it.
You?
Me? Yeah, I'm not going to.
You drag things out and belabor them?
Anybody know?
Unheard
800.
of.
All right, Andrew's screening. Let's see if anyone gets put through. 800-990-1047. Why is today a big day? Listen, listen, you might be right. You might be wrong. You might be crazy. It just may be a lunatic you're looking for. Nothing? Not yet? No, they don't know? All right, keep going. Come on. I only have a couple of minutes here because I don't want to get too late and already botch up my timing for the hour. All right, hang on. Andrew's still answering calls right now. He's shaking his head. Oh, gee. So when do I do the reveal?
Now? Or in 3 minutes from now? How much more do you want to stutter over?
Hold on.
I mean,
Andrew, hang on. It looks like Andrew is shaking his head like he might have an affirmative.
Let's take calls the whole show.
Hold on a sec. Hang on a minute. All right, Andrew, he's picking him up and hanging up on him because they're not guessing correctly. Unbelievable.
Isn't the point to take the calls and let him guess on the air? Is he doing his own morning show in there?
All right, Andrew, all right.
Don't we take wrong guesses on the air when people call in?
All right, fine. Andrew, give me some wrong guesses then. All right, just put them all on hold. Just put them all.
Put everybody on hold.
Put everybody on hold.
It doesn't matter what the guess is. We don't need them screened.
Put everybody on hold.
Just make sure they're a person.
Yeah.
Put them on hold. We'll figure it out.
Oh, hang on a minute. We actually have correct on line 4.
Oh.
So you want them to listen? Sometimes I do take wrong answers, but this time I did not. All right, we have the correct one on 4 after 22 wrong guesses. Line 4. To whom do you have the pleasure of speaking to me? All right, whatever the hell I just said.
Who's this?
What's your freaking name? Hello.
Hi, good morning, guys.
Hey, it's early. I don't know what the hell. I'm rambling. I'm mumbling.
Yeah.
All right, what's your name first?
Billy.
Hey, Billy.
Billy, welcome to the MJ Morning Show. And
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it.
why is today an important day for some people?
Well, I just put 2 and 2 together because I was listening to you guys talk earlier about the games and the game of life and everything, and then right before I left the house, I saw on the news that the Nintendo Switch was coming out today.
That is correct. Yeah. Yeah, the Nintendo Switch 2, the video game device, the Nintendo Switch 2 is available. People have been lining up for days in some locations. And I think it's been like an 8-year drought from the original Nintendo Switch to the release of the Nintendo Switch 2. It's been 8 freaking years, and today's the official day. So, Billy, you are correctamundo, Billy. Thank you very much. And you know what? How do we get into the discussion of old games?
The same way we get into all these crazy discussions.
I mean, you were talking about spitting on your wheel or something in the game of life. Or
No, but how do we get into game? Because I don't think it was an intentional tie-in or clue. I think that just happened.
I forget.
Anyway, Billy, you're correct. You win absolutely nothing. Oh, I'm sorry.
Excellent.
You win a Nintendo Switch 3 when that comes out in 2035.
Yeah, call us back.
Call
excellent.
us back.
Okay, will do. Glad to contribute, guys. Have a good day.
Thank you, Billy. I appreciate your contribution. Hang on a minute. Line 6 also had it. Mostly wrong guesses, Andrew said. Line 6, who is this?
I hung up.
Oh, great. Hello, Line. Are you there? Hung up on me. Son of a... All right, well, I guess they didn't want to get accolades and recognition. Now, today's the Nintendo Switch, and people have been waiting in line for days. So I even printed out a corporate news release from Target.
I mean, is that every Target? I mean, have I just missed it? I haven't been by a Target in a couple of days.
Well, hold on.
Does every Target have people camping out?
I never said it was Target.
I'm asking. I'm talking. Whatever.
I have no idea. I've not gone to Target.
Well, you said people are camping out. Where are people camping out? Like in Best Buy in New York or
no,
where?
There are Best Buy locations around the area and across the country where people are waiting in line at some Best Buys to get their Nintendo Switch 2. All right, just getting started. You know what? I should have gotten like 100 of those to give away.
Yeah.
I don't know. Is that kind of a limited? Is that a narrow audience?
Yeah, I mean, let's give out rice cookers instead.
You know what? Shut up.
What?
Shut up.
I'm being persecuted for honesty?
6:11 at the MJ Morning Show. Just getting rolling. Schreider's got traffic. MJ Morning Show back in a minute.
Good morning. It's early and most of Tampa Bay is moving along.
It is the MJ Morning Show, 6:18, Thursday morning. Yeah, I was just going through the pile of crap for the 6 o'clock hour, and too much stuff to cram in, so it's got to leak into the 7 o'clock hour. Hey, Richard Simmons' house is up for sale a year after he died. Remember, Richard Simmons, you can get skinny, you can get, Richard Simmons, right? And remember, he was like a recluse for years, and nobody knew what the hell happened to the dude. A staple of the 80s and 90s, and oh my God, I wonder if they left stuff in the house. If you buy the house, do you get like a whole bunch of deal-a-meal cards that are stacked up like in the garage or something?
He has a bunch of frozen meals in a deep freeze out there.
No, what are you talking about? Deal-a-meal, it wasn't actual food. What are you rambling about? Dude, Deal-a-meal, it was, those were cards. Hold on, why are you slamming your headphones
Who
down?
gives a crap, MJ? We're making Richard Simmons jokes. There's a whole closet.
No, because your joke was erroneous.
You think Richard Simmons never had a frozen food line?
I don't know.
Well, then why don't you? Well, let's do some investigating.
I said
frozen. Maybe
I said Deal-a-meal. Deal-a-meal was specific.
Maybe there's a bunch of.
Listen, don't project. Don't get angry at me because you were wrong. I said Deal-a-meal, and then you were like, "Oh yeah, a bunch of frozen foods out in the garage."
Maybe he had frozen foods in the garage.
But
maybe he had lean cuisines. You don't know. You're not a friend of Richard, in spite of having remarkably similar hair and height.
Dude,
and energy.
Dude, you're spinning it.
All right.
I was talking about Deal-a-meal, and he made millions. Hey, Michelle, look that up. How much money did Richard Simmons make on Deal-a-meal? I think he made tens of millions of dollars.
That was his big payday.
But you're talking about having frozen foods in his garage when I mentioned Deal-a-meal. Suddenly, now you're an expert?
His website is still up.
Yeah.
Is it really?
He's still
Yes.
a brand, and you know what? I think he's still a force in the industry with a certain segment.
All right, hold on. Fester just found a Deal-a-meal infomercial from 1987 on YouTube.
We're talking about the fastest growing weight loss program in history. In its first 8 weeks, 250,000 people started it. What is it, people? Deal-a-meal! That's right. But I bet a lot of you out there are still wondering, does Deal-a-meal really work? Well, everybody here is on it. What do you think? Does Deal-a-meal work?
Oh, it does. So Deal-A-Meal it was like a deck of cards or something. I mean, I never had it, but it was like a deck of cards, and you were picking the foods you ate in different groups or categories based on the cards, and it was supposed to be all like healthy combinations, low fat, low calorie. So, Michelle, did you find out how much money
No.
Richard, it was like meats, the meat cards, you had the fruit cards, the vegetable cards, like the cheese cards. So I'm telling you, the dude made a freaking fortune from Deal-A-Meal.
Oh, sure.
5 to 10 million.
No,
No.
That's what's published.
No,
I would have bet he made $50 million.
I don't think it was much as George Foreman made with that freaking grill.
Yeah.
George Foreman made like hundreds of millions of dollars on the George Foreman grill. But I saw the story that Richard Simmons' house is for sale 1 year after his death. And I'm just curious, are there like unsold, still shrink-wrapped Deal-A-Meal kits?
I'm sure.
What about like those clown shorts that he wore and tank tops? Are those still like in like drawers?
How much sparkle is in that house? Or glitter?
Say it again. I couldn't hear you.
How much glitter's in that house?
Oh, yeah. Probably a lot.
You know, we met him. I met him twice.
Also, a lot of hair fro management products.
Yeah. Why did he become a recluse at the end of his life? Does anybody explain that?
I don't know if we ever got an explanation for that. But the late Richard Simmons' Hollywood Hills mansion just hit the market, and you can get it for $7 million. Yeah, listing photos are online.
Is that a mansion in Hollywood?
Listen, TMZ says the Los Angeles area mansion is polished and pristine, welcoming potential buyers with a stately front portico. Some people like to say portico. I like to use portico. I find portico way too pretentious. All right. Let's see, what else?
The house has-
a lush backyard, Fester.
I'm looking at the backyard right now.
Lush.
Look at it. Look how beautiful it
It's
is.
very nicely manicured.
It really is.
It is. You know what? This has a very anal appearance. Can I say that with Richard Simmons?
Stop.
I mean, well, look at the shape of
I'm just saying that it looks like it's kept up so well
Oh, yeah.
that it was very anal.
meticulous.
Thank you. Maybe that's a better word to use.
He was meticulous about
very-
the anal.
he was,
Look at the shape of the pool.
oh yeah,
It's completely round.
right. No, the house looks. You know what? I'm looking at the picture, and you're right. It might not really fit the bill of what you would consider a mansion, right?
What would you consider? I mean, the term mansion is just thrown around so much. I mean, it has 4 bedrooms. Is that a mansion? I think like a mansion has like 16 bedrooms and 24 baths.
And a parlor.
Yes.
And the sitting room, the map room, the drawing room,
I remember
the bowling alley.
Candy Spelling had a room just for wrapping gifts.
Oh, that's right.
Oh,
And I was
yeah.
like, that's a mansion.
Oh, yeah. Well,
Yeah.
that was the biggest home in L.A., I think.
yeah.
Or
That's
maybe
a mansion.
That's right. Aaron Spelling, the
Yep.
famous old TV producer and creator. Aaron Spelling, the father of Tori Spelling. That's right. They had this massive house. And I remember that she had how do you remember that, Fester?
Because it stuck in my head.
Yeah.
Because what's the barometer of just a really big, nice house?
That's
Right.
And a mansion.
Candy Spelling, Tori Spelling's mom, who, do they still hate each other?
Oh, yeah. I think they're. I don't think they hate each
it's
other.
a-
They're just.
It's a stressed relationship.
But Candy Spelling, when Aaron Spelling died and left a gigantic fortune, I mean, like, I think it was like a billionaire. Because Aaron Spelling had all those big shows, but didn't he do like Charlie's Angels and the?
Yeah.
A ton of them.
I mean, tons of shows where Aaron
Boston
Spelling.
Crest, maybe, or.
Well, tons of
Yeah.
shows, right? 90210. Tori Spelling got her break because her dad was like the biggest TV producer in Hollywood, and their home was massive. But Fester's right. Now that you said that, it immediately came back to me that she had a room in the house just for wrapping gifts.
Everybody needs one of those.
It was the gift wrapping room.
Yeah.
Well, what is it called? There's like a project room for
Yeah.
what is it?
Crafting room?
What are they? There's a name for it.
I don't know.
Studio? I don't know.
No, like a project room, a craft room, and that's typically where women practice their hobby. Like some
A
houses
hobby room?
Like a she shed?
My she shed burned down.
Oh, my gosh.
Wasn't there a commercial for a she shed burning down or something?
I think it was like an insurance commercial.
Anyway, seriously, 4 bedrooms, 5 baths. You know what? That might not be just over 4,000 square feet. No, that's not a mansion.
No, it sounds pretty modest.
Half acre. You know what? It is modest, and it is a nice looking home.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Richard Simmons, who kind of mentally apparently checked out, went off the deep end, and I feel really bad for the guy because he was so nice.
Yeah.
He came in. The MJ and BJ morning show started in 1994, and he was really big. Mid-90s, Richard Simmons was still big, and then he kind of, fizzled out probably late 90s into the early 2000s. But he visited when he was in town for whatever event. He came into the show live a couple of times, and he was a handful. I mean,
in character the whole time.
He
kind of was the character.
He kind of rolled in and just commandeered everything. You couldn't get a word in edgewise, but he was nice. But he also reeked of cologne.
Yeah.
Do you remember, Michelle? I would come home and you were like accusing me of being with somebody else. And it's like, no, Richard Simmons gave me a hug in the studio. Oh, and he wanted to hug everyone.
Yeah. So
yes.
In the years I worked in radio, my mother never asked to come to the radio station, but she asked the day that Richard Simmons came.
Oh, really?
And because she was a huge fan. Fat ladies everywhere love Richard Simmons, and she loved him.
Yeah.
Well,
What's not to love?
Well, tell
He was
Mom.
so nice.
Tell Mom. I guess you can't tell Mom.
Tell her. She's not going to talk back.
Right. I was going to say that. Tell her the home's up for sale. 4,000 square feet, $7 million. That's $7 million for 4,000 square feet. That's some pretty hefty, price per square foot. It's pretty hefty.
He bought the house in 1982 for $675,000.
Oh,
anyway,
wow.
Anyway, rest in peace, Richard Simmons. The home, after a year of him being gone, is now up for sale for $7 million if you happen to be interested. But seriously, he used to always want to hug people, and he'd go, MJ! And he'd come and give me a hug, and it smelled like he dumped at least a quart or maybe a half gallon. Imagine like a half gallon of T.G. Lee milk, but filled with man cologne.
And just doused
That's what,
that's what it was.
He doused himself in cologne.
If you Google his net worth, it's pretty modest as well. It says his estimated net worth is $20 million. To think of somebody who was in the industry and was so innovative in that diet or, meal planning sector, he just really didn't make as much as you think.
Hey, listen to this. Man, this is a dirty trick. I don't know if something contentious was going on, but Mecklenburg County, which is in North Carolina, they were having a big Board of County Commissioners meeting, and I got to believe that must have been some topics that were really of the public interest. Maybe there was something contentious going on. Somebody brought in a whole bunch of bugs and let them loose in the county commissioners meeting. That's a tactic.
You know what?
I mean, I don't recommend that.
You just bring a briefcase full of chiggers.
The Blues Brothers had briefcase full of
blues.
Yes, that was their huge debut album for the Blues Brothers was briefcase full of blues, and in this case, briefcase full of bugs.
What kind of bugs? Like roaches?
Cockroaches.
Briefcase full of bugs. Chiggers. I don't know.
Grasshoppers would have been awful.
Bed bugs. Do you have? Does it say what? Because my stories. Listen to this. My story came from WRAL, which is a Raleigh big TV station. Mecklenburg County officials are speaking out after an unusual disruption during Tuesday night's Board of County Commissioners meeting. According to county leaders, an individual released bugs into the meeting room, prompting their removal from the premises.
I think I know.
What kind of bugs?
I think they were crickets.
I
I got another article that says countless crickets cause chaos in county commissioner's chamber.
Oh, man, I love the alliteration. Say it again. Countless crickets cause chaos.
Yeah, countless crickets cause chaos in county commissioner's chamber.
Oh, I love that. That's great.
Yeah.
So crickets, MJ,
Yeah.
I don't know if you're aware of this.
No, what?
Are one of the bugs you can buy in bulk at a pet shop
Oh,
pretty easily.
Oh,
that makes sense.
Because there are animals that eat crickets.
Yeah.
Guess what? Cricket is also a cell phone company.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Is that really a good name for a cell phone company? Cricket?
I don't know.
Listen,
When I think of cricket, I think of an annoying freaking insect that's just making a chirping noise. Is that what you really want your cell phone company to be known as? Is cricket still around?
cricket cell phone?
Yeah, is cricket, or did that get consumed by another company? And
I don't know.
Cricket Wireless.
Yeah, Cricket Wireless.
Still around?
Yeah, it's a prepaid phone service.
Oh, yeah, look at that.
It's owned by AT&T.
Okay.
It's an offshoot of AT&T where you have to pay before you talk.
Yeah, it's people with like no credit and like down on their luck living in the van down by the river. They've got cricket. Is that?
Can I get a cricket? Is that like a burner phone?
I would think that this probably falls in the burner phone category.
Okay.
Yes. And listen, I don't mean to insult anybody. Hopefully, listen, don't change the station. Don't be insulted if I spoke out of turn and you're a cricket user. I you know what? If you're a cricket user and I just offended you, can you please call me? Or if you're a cricket user and I didn't offend you, please also call. I mean, I don't want to insinuate that anybody on cricket is living in a van down by the river. Hang on, 800, quickly.
No annual contracts, affordable phones.
Quickly, I don't want to get too late here. 800-990-1047. I'm very sensitive to the feelings of our listeners.
Are you?
If you have Cricket Wireless, did I just offend you? Or are you okay? I just need to know. I need some affirmation here. 800-990-1047. 800-990-1047. Why are you gasping over there, Michelle?
Because the meeting had to be halted
Yes.
while a member of the cleaning crew came in and vacuumed them up.
Yeah. What else do you do with them? You call a pesticide company, right?
No.
Call an exterminator?
Oh boy! All right. Listen, Andrew. I don't want to get too late here. If we get some cricket calls, or are we just getting crickets now?
You know, I might switch to cricket. It looks pretty legit.
All right. MJ Morning Show, Morons in the News next. Man, I got a great pile of early morons in minutes. Next on the MJ Morning Show. Hey, Fester, so far, is the 6 o'clock hour okay with you? Because yesterday you were complaining that you didn't like the 6 o'clock hour.
I didn't.
Well, is this better for you today? Or you want to wait until I do Morons in the News?
I mean, it is a real...
You want to give me a full update? You want to give me a full review after we finish Morons in the News next?
I'll give you a full review after every hour.
All right, hang on a minute. Morons in the News next. Yeah, Fest was bitching about our yesterday 6 o'clock hour. Hang on a minute. Yeah, phones are ringing on cricket. I'll take those next. Don't move. Back in a second. MJ Morning Show on Q105. Hey, Westfall Roofing is there for your roofing needs. If you have a roof leak, and guess what? We're getting the rain. The rain is happening. We're getting the downpours. I mean, we even had like chunks of hail a couple of days ago in parts of Hillsborough County. Yeah, some parts in the area had hail. You know, we're getting into the pattern. We're getting the rain. If you have a roofing problem, if your roof has a leak, maybe you have residual damage from the hurricanes last year, maybe it's just time for a new roof, or if you prefer, a new roof. So if you need a new roof, call Westfall. It is Westfall Roofing. I don't think it's Westfall Roofing. However, if you need a new roof, and in Florida, average roof life is only 15 to 20 years, call Westfall. If you need anything done with your roof, you call Westfall Roofing and tell them that MJ sent you. Oh, look at this. I got a bunch of calls on hold. Uh-oh. Got a bunch of cricket users. Are they going to be angry at me? Or are they okay? All right, hold on. If you're on hold, hang on. I'll get to you next.
Good morning. It's early, and most of Tampa Bay is moving along pretty well. There's some overnight construction to wrap up. One that will not be wrapping up is the ongoing construction in Pinellas on alternate US 19 between Alderman and Klosterman roads. FDOT suggests using Belcher Road as an alternate. Be safe and have a good day. Keeping you updated, I'm Schreiner. Traffic brought to you by the aggressive attorneys Winters and Yonker.
This Father's Day, help Dad be all he can be with a gift from the Home Depot. Because he's not just Dad, he's the handyman of the house. The plumber in a pinch, and the emergency mechanic. Upgrade his gear this Father's Day with the Husky Mechanics 270-piece tool set from the Home Depot. Now on special buy for $119, a $695 value. For every kind of dad, find the perfect gift this Father's Day at the Home Depot.
I've always gotten tons of UTIs. Cranberry products never worked for me, and I was desperate for a way to be proactive. I'm Jenna Ryan, CEO and founder of Eucora. We've worked with doctors to develop effective urinary tract health products. Just mix a packet of Eucora with water and drink it when you need support, like right after intimacy. Eucora is helping over 100,000 women stay healthy. Ready to join them? Get 30% off at eucora.com/radio. That's UQORA.com/radio.
As a law enforcement officer, safe roads are one of my top priorities, ensuring everyone can get home safely each day. Some never will, due to aggressive driving, being distracted, or speeding on the roads. And too often, that results in the toughest part of my job, and the longest walk in my life. I'm so sorry. I have some very sad news to share with you.
9 people will be killed on our Florida roadways today. Don't let it be you or a person you love. Buckle up every trip, every time. Let's get everyone home safely. A message from Florida Department of Transportation, Target Zero. For more information, visit targetzerofl.com.
Hey, did you know that with Frontier Fiber Internet, the best Wi-Fi isn't just for VIPs anymore?
So even if I have less than 1 million followers?
Or me, a total noob? What if I'm not in the metaverse yet?
Yeah, now everyone can get Wi-Fi 7 with a premium Eero router on Fiber 500 and up. Now starting at only $39.99 per month. Switch to the most advanced Wi-Fi on 100% fiber internet. Only from Frontier. Good to go. In select areas, price for 12 months with autopay. ETF terms apply. Max speeds wired. Actual average and Wi-Fi speed vary.
Accident or fall, call Kemp Law. KempLaw.com.
Injured in a car crash? Don't face the insurance companies alone. At Kemp Law Group, we fight to get you every dollar you deserve. Whether it's a fender bender or a major collision, we've got your back. Accident or fall, call Kemp Law Group for a free consultation. KempLaw.com. Office Trinity.
Accident or fall, call Kemp Law. KempLaw.com.
Career changers, including veterans and active duty service members. Your transition starts here. Go from GI to IT in a matter of months. Become a certified cyber warrior with training at My Computer Career. Cybersecurity specialists are in high demand, offering IT pros great opportunities and a rewarding lifestyle while protecting our people, liberty, and treasured institutions from cyber threats. Deploy your career in IT today. Learn more at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. SkillBridge and other VA benefits are available to those who qualify.
Now at Verizon, we have some big news for your peace of mind. For all our customers, existing and new, we're locking in low prices for 3 years guaranteed on My Plan and My Home. That's future you peace of mind. And everyone can save on a brand new phone on My Plan when you trade in any phone from one of our top brands. That's new phone peace of mind. Because at Verizon, whether you're already a customer or you're just joining us, we got you. Visit Verizon today. Price guarantee applies to then current base monthly rate. Additional terms and conditions apply for all offers.
This Father's Day at Lowe's, score free gifts for the greatest dad. Right now, get a free select DeWalt, Craftsman, or Cobalt tool with purchase of a select battery kit. Plus, get a free Werner 2-foot aluminum ladder when you buy an 8-foot fiberglass ladder. Shop these deals and more this Father's Day at Lowe's. We help, you save. Valid through 6/15 while supplies last. Selection varies by location.
Injured? Hire the largest injury firm in the world, Morgan & Morgan, for the
Tampa Bay's hits of the 80s, 90s, and more.
Sponsored by WhatsApp.
Wondering what a personal message with your credit card number has in common with way too many pictures of your dog? Well, they're both private. Because on WhatsApp, your personal messages are yours. No one else can see or hear them, not even us. WhatsApp. Message privately with everyone.
Now, Morons in the news on the MJ Morning Show on 104.7 FM.
Off the cuff Cricket wireless comment. How did this come up? Oh, the bugs. So we had an item that there was a county commissioners meeting in North Carolina, and somebody must not be happy with the county commissioners because they brought in a whole bag full of bugs and let them loose in the county commissioners meeting, and it turned out that they were crickets. They had to shut the meeting down. Everyone had to get out. The cleaning crew had to come in and try to vacuum up all the bugs, all these crickets. And I made like a flip it off the cuff comment, about Cricket being a wireless company. And, it's like a burner phone kind of thing.
Yeah, prepaid phone company. It's
Yeah.
a division of AT&T.
And I made a comment that, if you've got Cricket Wireless, you might be living in a van down by the river. And, listen, then when I said that, I'm like, I hope I didn't offend any listeners. So, look at that. I've got like 5 listeners on hold. So, hang on.
Are they all offended?
Hold on. Let me go to Bob first. Listen. All right, let me just hold off on Morons in the News. This is very, very important stuff here, folks. Let me grab Bob. We'll talk to Bob in Port Richey. Hey, Bob, welcome to the MJ Morning Show.
Yeah, morning, MJ. Yeah, you're talking like a jackwagon, dude, and your apology didn't sound sincere. And I've been with Cricket for, holy smokes, 12, 15 years.
Really?
Wow.
I work every day. I got a good job. I'm not on a burner phone. I'm on a well, it's an LG. I wish it was a Galaxy, but maybe it's almost a burner phone. But, hey, it was very offensive.
Bob, by the way, are you on the Cricket phone right now?
Yes, I am.
It actually sounds very good.
Thank you.
It's a very clear-sounding phone. All right, Bob, are you so offended that you're considering ditching my morning show for something else?
No, I wouldn't do that. I've been listening to you
All right.
for, I couldn't even tell you, 20-some years, even when you were on AM. So, but I would like your address so I could send your wife a sympathy card for having to put up with you every day.
Oh, thank you.
This call's
Card's not necessary. Sentiment accepted right there.
This is a great call. I'm a jackwagon sympathy card for Michelle.
I mean,
Got
yeah,
the
Bob,
whole-
you know what to expect from MJ and his smarmy comments sometimes.
Yeah, I know. But, I don't have thin skin, and it did, kick me right in the stomach a little bit there. So, just saying.
that I recognize that, and that's why I want to be a little apologetic. That's why I'm taking calls here. All right, Bob, thank you very much for calling in. I'm sorry to offend you, okay?
All right, have a good day.
Thank you. Tammy in Lakeland. Hi, Tammy. You're on the MJ Morning Show.
Good morning, MJ. How are you?
I'm doing well. Did I offend you?
You didn't offend me. You made me laugh my butt off, first of all, because you really didn't realize that it's not just a burner phone. I have a regular phone also, and I've been using Cricket for, I guess, about 8 years. And I never have any problems with them at that company at all. Drop zones, nothing.
Well, apparently they use the AT&T network because Cricket Wireless is actually owned by AT&T, according to Fester's research.
According to the internet, I'm not some cell phone
Right,
expert.
right. So it's not really a burner phone. So that's why I was like, oh, he doesn't have his facts straight.
All right, well,
And
listen.
I just laughed. You didn't offend me. I laugh. I listen to you every morning. It's good.
All right, Tammy, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
I don't know. Bob
All right, you have a great day.
You too. Tanya in Gibsonton. Tanya, probably a carny. Tanya, I'm kidding. I'm joking. Tanya, welcome to the MJ Morning Show.
Good morning. I'm a first-time caller. I listen to you guys every morning.
Thank you.
Been listening to you guys about 6 months now, and I heard the comment about the Cricket phone. Just to let you know, I've been with Cricket for over 15 years. We have a family plan. It's like $125 a month. No issues with my service. Text, everything is perfect. So just wanted to let you know.
All right, well,
Don't sleep on Cricket.
All right, Tanya, were you offended by my Cricket comment?
Not offended, but I just think you need to just, not offended, but don't sleep on Cricket.
All right, and Tanya, you said you've been listening to us for about 6 months. Are you new to the area, or have you been here a while?
I've been in Florida for a while, but I just started flipping through the radio, and I heard you one morning. I think you were doing like a skit or something with a man that fell in a dump truck, and he was trying to get out.
Oh, thank God you've answered. I'm stuck in the dumpster. Milton Fludge Cow. Look at that.
Yes, I've been listening to you ever since then, so thank you for that. You put a big smile on my face that day.
Tanya, thank you for listening. I really appreciate it. And tell all your friends to listen to the MJ Morning Show on 104.7, okay?
I sure will. Thank you. Thank you, Fester. Thank you, Michelle. You guys have a great day.
Thank you. Look at that.
Thank you.
That's a phenomenal call. Look, this is turning into a very positive thing here. One more call. Alan in Tampa. Alan, MJ Morning Show, you're up. Hello. I got to push the button. That would help.
I'm so offended right now.
Alan, go ahead. You're on, Alan.
By gum, I am so offended, my guy. It's just not tolerable to hear this from such a reputable show, which has lost its reputation.
What is this? Snagglepuss calling in? Heavens to Murgatroyd.
This is an airport. I'd like to announce my departure. I'm out.
All right. You can't win them all. Goodbye, Alan.
Thank you, Alan.
Thank you, pal.
He's putting us on. But that's funny. What was that voice he was doing?
I don't know.
Some kind of uppity.
It was an uppity. A guy that talks like this, I don't think is on Cricket Wireless.
Whose name is Biff?
Yes. It's tea time. All right, thank you. All right. So if I offended anyone, I do sincerely apologize. All right, early morons in the news. You know, I saw this. You know when you read something and you get one impression, but then you kind of clear things up in a few minutes, or you read a little more. So I saw a headline. I'm like, what the hell? What is this, 1985? The headline I saw was, police said that man was shot in the leg during an argument over the phone cord. I'm like, you know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking about that like 39-foot phone cord that Mom used to have on the kitchen phone.
Yeah, she could walk anywhere in the house.
Oh, man. Mom could, remember that? Mom could walk from the kitchen all the way like out in the front yard with the long phone cord. That's what I got in my head. That when I first read the story, man shot in the leg during argument over phone cord, I'm like, oh my God, what am I reading? A story from the 80s? The phone cord? No. And of course I know this because I've got a bunch of them. The charger cord.
Why would they say charger cord?
Well, that's a good point. So morons in the news. This is Seattle, Washington. Police in Seattle investigating after a man was shot in the leg during an argument over a phone cord. Early Monday morning, police responded to reports of a shooting 2 a.m. And when they arrived, they found a man who had been shot in the leg. Officers treated him at the scene and applied a tourniquet. You know what? You know what they say about a tourniquet?
What, lose a limb, save a life?
Yep, lose a limb to save a life.
Yeah.
I remember learning that in first aid in like 8th grade in middle school. He was taken to a local hospital. Police learned that the suspect had the victim's phone cord and wouldn't give it back. Yeah, that's a shooting. So when I first saw the headline, shot over a phone cord, I'm like, the old, coiled phone cord for old landlines. No, it was the modern day version of the charger cord.
We've talked about this before, where cell phone battery levels cause anxiety in people.
Yeah.
And if this guy's sitting at 7%, and this other person's not giving back his cord.
Right.
By the way, police have searched for the suspect that shot the guy at 2:00 in the morning. They can't find him, so they're going to the Crime Stoppers tip line to ask people if they know where this dude is. Do they even know the guy's name?
How do they? What's the relation to the victim?
Why are you with some dude at 2:00 in the morning that shoots you in the leg, and now they don't know who the guy is? That sounds a little sus.
I generally don't share my cell phone cord with people I don't know.
Yeah.
Did they ever find the weirdo caped guy out in Zephyr Hills that was cutting cables at like the sewage and water lift stations? Did you know about this?
I don't think I heard about this.
Yeah, there was some dude in a red cape was vandalizing the sewage lift stations out in Zephyr Hills. I gotta be honest, I don't want to think about sewage and lift when you hear Zephyr Hills, because
all the water comes from there.
Well, actually, I don't think none of the water comes from there anymore.
It used to.
It used to, but then I think they sucked all the water out of the ground. No, but seriously, if you look at a bottle, and I buy Zephyr Hills. I like the big 1.5-liter bottles. I buy cases of that, and I don't know. It's tough to find. I can only find it at Restaurant Depot. But I like the big 1.5-liter cases of Zephyr Hills. So we buy it in my house. But if you look at the label on Zephyr Hills these days, the water is from everywhere but Zephyr Hills. It's serious. You're laughing. It's true.
When we first moved here, it was from Zephyr Hills.
Yeah. Well, back in the mid-'90s when we first moved here, the water was Zephyr Hills water. And then it was sold to, I think, like Nestle. Yeah, I think Nestle Waters of the Globe.
Nestle owns a lot of water companies.
Yeah, they own the ocean. They bought the Pacific last year. They own all that.
So Zephyr Hills police arrested 35-year-old Justin Love.
All right. Well, that's the update.
A couple of Fridays ago.
Yeah, all right. So they did get it. Listen to the original story that Zephyr Hills police said multiple wastewater lift stations were vandalized. Communication cables were cut. So if there's a problem with the lift station, I believe that the lift station, the equipment will actually like call like an operator or, somebody with the city or the water department, maybe like cellular, or it'll place a call if there's a problem. It's kind of like, an alarm system at your house that's monitored. If someone breaks in, your alarm system calls the monitoring so they can alert the cops.
That makes sense.
Right. So this dude in Zephyr Hills was seen on surveillance video near one of the lift stations. No shirt and a red cape, white shorts, black shoes, and he was riding a red bicycle. Freaking Pee Wee Herman. So the update is they did catch him?
They caught him like the next day.
All right, because
May 21st and 22nd,
Yeah,
he was
'cause
doing his deeds, and they caught him like on the 23rd.
I had the story in my pile, and I never got to it. And I was going through my crap earlier today. I'm like, whatever happened with this Cape douche with the lift station? And so the update is that they did catch him.
Is this like domestic terrorism?
I don't know what it is, but that's just weird. What, no shirt and a red cape? And the guy's going to 7 different lift stations in Zephyr Hills to cut communications cables?
I'm less concerned with his attire and more concerned with what his plan was to taint the water supply or affect the water supply of a community. That sounds like an attack.
What the F is this guy doing? Unbelievable. All right, 6:53 at the MJ Morning Show. 7 o'clock hour starts next. Fester, I saw this. You sent me this, and I thought, oh, well, if it has to do with food, Fester's going to send it. The food prankster?
Yeah.
What is this guy doing?
I mean, he sounds hysterical.
You know what it is? It's the folks that are just trying to come up with content.
Yeah.
Like attacking people with items like at Home Depot and then videoing it and, laughing about it.
There's this whole subculture now of young men who think they're going to be influencers by doing things publicly.
Yeah, but invading spaces.
Getting in spaces, messing with the wrong people.
All right, you know what? This is going to turn bad. It's kind of like the door kick-in challenge that was circulating on TikTok and on Instagram. Some people have been shot kicking people's doors in.
Yeah.
All right, hold on to that thought. You got to hear about the food prankster and a big old warning, among many other things, here on the MJ Morning Show on Q105, 104.7 FM next. Accident or fall, you call Kemp Law. If you are in a car wreck because of somebody else's negligence, you've got property damage. Your neck is all jacked. Your back is screwed up. You deserve to be compensated. If you're just going about your business, you're headed to work, you're just out on an errand, somebody's on their cell phone, next thing you know, and, your neck is sent lurching like 150 feet forward. Listen, you got problems, and you need a great law firm to navigate everything. They know how to deal with the court system. They know how to deal with the insurance companies. They know how to deal with the pain-in-the-butt lawyers on the other side. Accident or fall, you call Kemp Law. If you had a slip and fall, you call Kemp Law. KempLaw.com. If you or anyone else has been in a car wreck, KempLaw.com. Tell them MJ sent you. Traffic's on 6:55. MJ Morning Show back in minutes.
We're seeing.
O'clock at the MJ Morning Show. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for listening to the MJ Morning Show. Fester, what are you watching over there?
So, this is footage of Tommy Tough Knuckles.
Tommy Tough Knuckles,
a.k.a., or his name is Kyle Vasquez.
Oh, you know what? I've heard of him.
He's the guy that was arrested,
Yeah.
the prankster.
Oh, yeah.
The food prankster.
No. But I was aware of this guy even before. Yeah. So, Fester, you've got the food prankster story.
That's this guy.
All right. That's Tommy Tough Knuckles. Okay. So, I was not aware that it was Tommy Tough Knuckles because this is kind of your story. You're championing this one. So, Fester wants to talk about this social media video prankster, and I just wasn't aware that it was Tommy Tough Knuckles, but I'm aware of him because I have heard of him in the past. You know, if you're on Instagram, which I am, and of course you can follow me at Certified MJ Radio, or if you're on the TikTok, I'm not on TikTok because it's a damn Chinese spy operation, and if you've got TikTok on your phone, you've given the Chinese Communist government complete consent to steal everything from your phone. They have access to everything on your phone, all your files, all of your contacts, everything. So if that's what you want to do with your TikTok, if it's more important for you to have stupid TikTok videos on your phone than your personal security and you giving up everything to the Chinese commies, then that's your prerogative. Anyway, so with the advent of social media, everyone wants to be a star. You got all these people that are really becoming like menaces and nuisances in public to videotape people's reactions.
Yeah.
And one of these guys is this Tommy Tough Knuckles.
Yeah.
All right, so tell the story, Fester.
So seems like a young guy, and he's trying to get likes and
What
clicks.
do you mean seems like a young guy?
He looks like, what is he, 21 years old, 22 years old?
Yeah, it looks like he's early. Yeah, 21.
Okay, so
Kyle Vasquez.
he's young and dumb. He has his Instagram and TikTok page. He has 100,000 followers, and he does.
Well, it's not that many in the scheme of things.
Yeah, he's just getting started. And let me tell you, this is the best thing to happen to him.
But he's just going to places, and he's like doing really sort of criminal acts.
So he's Suffolk County, New York, right? And he goes.
This is Long Island.
Out in Long Island here. And we got old Tommy Tough Knuckles here.
Yeah, Tommy. By the way, there's no Tommy in his name. He's Kyle Vasquez.
Yeah, well, there's no MJ in yours. I mean, it's just a name. Big deal.
Okay.
Yeah. Point made and taken.
All right.
Here, put the audio up if you can.
Tommy Tough Knuckles.
I don't know if this is a new.
And I had the scamping.
So that's
Hold on.
1710.
I got to close some windows here.
Yeah, you got 19 things opened up. You're not even playing the right audio.
Oh, I'm getting there.
Yeah, how about you do that? If you're going to do something on the air, how about you make sure you close the
figure it out.
20,000 windows you have opened up, playing all the audio except what we need to play.
We'll figure it out. Here we go. All right, is it done? You hear anything?
Yeah, no, go ahead, play it.
So this is
Tommy Tough Knuckles. All right, go ahead.
Knuckles on TikTok facing 8 separate criminal counts today for viral videos like this one.
I'm Tommy Tough Knuckles, and I'm the reason why these egg prices are so high.
But what he's also
All right, stop. He's got a gigantic, like a 35-liter plastic bin filled with eggs, like broken, cracked eggs, like some kind of egg wash. He's got a huge plastic bin, like a storage bin.
Yeah. Right. This guy's great.
Filled with eggs, like liquid eggs, like cracked eggs, and he's standing at a business. He goes into a business and dumps the whole egg thing over his head. And then, it's videoed, and then he puts it online, and, it goes viral, and he's Tommy Tough Knuckles.
Dude, all right, I have no issue with this kid.
Listen, if you're going into
this is old radio pranks. I've done much worse.
Well, that's what I was thinking too as you were describing it. I'm like, these are things that we used to send Fester out for all the time.
Let's talk about some of the things I did out in public.
Yeah.
And that would have gotten me arrested today.
Like what?
Jumping off a bridge.
Okay. And he jumped off the Gandy Bridge.
That's right.
Okay.
I love that one.
You know what?
That's my favorite one.
This could be a very fun excursion down memory lane. So, what was that, 1996, 97?
Maybe toward the late 90s.
Do you remember what prompted that? Why did I send you and Froggy 1 to the Gandy Bridge for you to jump off the bridge in the middle of the morning show live on the air?
I think there was a rash of people jumping off the Skyway. And we wanted to show the dangers of picking the wrong bridge. So we're like, you can jump off the Gandhi.
You jump off the Gandhi, you're going to be fine.
Yeah.
That sounds familiar.
You're going to be fine. It's like you've got diving boards at the YMCA that are higher than the Gandhi.
And of course, Froggy and I went out there with a tape measure, and we measured how far it was. Like it wasn't accurate or anything. He was in the water.
Yeah.
Eric Tomlin drove me out to the top of the bridge.
Oh, that's right. So whatever happened to Eric Tomlin?
I think he's like some muckety muck over there now. He's like in charge of something.
So Eric Tomlin, he was like an intern or in the promotions department.
Good guy.
Drives Fester to the middle of the Gandhi. Froggy 1 borrowed his dad's boat. What was his dad's name? Like Lance or something?
L.E.
What?
L.E.
Oh, L.E.
L.E. Langley.
Right. So Froggy 1 borrows his dad's like 21-foot Chris Craft or whatever the heck it was. And
he was in the water waiting for me.
And Froggy dumped the boat in at a boat ramp. He is waiting in the water. And live on the air, Fester jumps off the Gandhi Bridge in the middle of morning drive. And then Froggy's there to pick him up in the boat, and we never got caught we never got in trouble.
Okay, we never got in trouble, but the trouble was at the radio station.
Oh, yeah. Dave Reinhardt freaked out.
This was before things were videoed. We had pictures of it, but
Hello, Dave Reinhardt.
We really didn't have a medium to distribute the pictures because the internet wasn't what it was.
Remember, Dave Reinhardt freaked out.
Remember Joe Mama Johnson came to the window demanding the show dat that we couldn't replay it.
Oh, that's right.
You gonna give me dat?
What dat? That.
What, a digital audio tape?
Well, yeah, a DAT was a digital audio tape, and they were like little small cassettes.
And we had every show on dat. And I'm gonna take that boy.
By the way, Michelle, how many boxes of old show DATs do I have?
Maybe 10. I mean,
maybe more. I would think you have 50 of them.
I have a lot. I have boxes.
You have many more boxes of a lot of show audio from your 30-plus years that I have organized and cataloged for you.
Right, so what else have you done before we get back to Tommy Tough Knuckles?
Okay, but that was, us not really involving anybody else. That was just us being morons.
Right.
Dude, National Peanut Butter Month, you sent me to Publix. And I jammed my face full of peanut butter.
Oh, I had you smearing peanut butter all over your body in the middle of the aisle.
I'm singing a song with peanut butter in my mouth, and the manager of Publix and I got into a confrontation.
What was the one with Crunch Berries where you were ripping open boxes of Captain Crunch?
Joey B went to the cash and carry on Gandhi Boulevard and bought Captain Crunch with Crunch Berries.
And there were no Crunch Berries.
There were no Crunch Berries. So you're like, Fester, go down there and make sure that the rest of the boxes have Crunch Berries. So I started opening up boxes of Captain Crunch.
Just ripping boxes open and Captain Crunch all over the aisle, all over the floors at the old cash and carry.
Pouring them in a pile. I must have got like 6 boxes.
Which, by the way, that's now a Publix.
Right.
Yeah.
And then the manager grabs me and BJ's in my ear, don't leave without paying. And I'm like, I can't leave without paying. And then I paid for it. And the manager, and I'm on the radio live. There was no delay back then.
The manager ripped you a new one. Didn't he curse?
He's cursing at me and laying.
Yeah, live on the air, the guy's cursing.
I'm going to kick your ass.
This is the cash and carry manager.
Son of a bitch, you come to my store, who the bleep do you think you are? And you're
it's all live on the air. We had no delay unit.
I'm giving him like the cut it out symbol. Like, I'm not telling him to shut up.
We're live.
I'm like, shut up.
Right.
Shut up. But he's laying into me.
But didn't he get in trouble?
So get this. Then we're off the air. I'm paying for it. All right, I'll be back at the station in a couple of minutes. You did your thing, went to commercial.
Did you also offer to clean up?
I was like, let me clean it up. He's like, get the bleep out of here, you son of a... This, third assistant manager of the grocery department of cash and carry is laying into me. And then I'm in line to pay for it. We're off the radio.
Yep.
And the phone rings. And
it was like a regional manager.
Like, Mr. So-and-so, pick up the blue line. And I see him. He's like, yes, sir. That was me, sir. I got him. And the regional manager of cash and carry, he goes, if you ever talk to a customer like that again, you're fired so fast. He lays into the manager.
Oh, yeah.
This poor bastard, probably my age now. I mean, life hasn't quite worked out when you're like the third assistant manager of the day shift of cash and carry. And he comes up to me. He's like, why didn't you tell me we were on the radio? I was like, dude, I tried to. I tried telling you. You were too busy yelling at me. I remember I was going like, cut it out.
For anyone new to the Tampa Bay area, we used to have a grocery store chain which was prominent called Cash and Carry.
Yeah.
And
But if we did that now,
then they became Sweet Bay. Yeah.
But if we did that now, we would send 4 people to video every angle.
Oh yeah.
We would make a social media post about it, and we would be menaces. And they would call Tampa police. I would have been arrested. You know that the sense of humor is long over. I went to a Christmas tree farm, crying. Remember when I paid Remember when I paid that gas station guy with pennies and he just flipping out? You get the blip out of here now, you fat piece of crap.
Yeah, you put like $30 worth of gas in your truck and you dump pennies on his counter.
This is legal tender.
God, we did some menacing stuff.
All of this stuff.
So we were the original Tommy Tough Knuckles.
But this would have been. This is the kind of stuff they're doing, and I mean, here's another Tommy Tough Knuckles. Here, let's play it again.
All right, hold on. What is this now?
I don't know. Maybe it's,
videos like this one.
This is the
I'm
eggs.
Tommy Tough Knuckles, and I'm the reason why these egg prices are so high.
Okay.
But what he's also chasing
this is a commissioner
is
from
the dollar.
Suffolk County.
He makes money off this.
Police say Vasquez dumped 50 raw eggs over his head outside this Ralph's Italian Ices here in Center Reach.
Oh, wow.
Then there's the incident up the road inside Wing-Wa Chinese restaurant.
Wing-Wa.
Police say he spilled the beans.
Yeah, I'm very angry. They're all angry because they made me a mess.
The restaurant
What?
releasing this surveillance video to show what they were subjected to,
man.
all for likes on social media.
He walks.
But the felony count?
Get me 50K. So he has a whole bucket of black beans. He walks into the Wing-Wa Chinese restaurant somewhere on Long Island, walks in and dumps the whole bucket of beans over his head. He's shirtless. It goes all over him. It goes all over the floor at the Wing-Wa. And so he's been arrested. So here's the deal. Food dumping social media prankster arrested on Long Island. This is from Fox 5 in New York City. The social media prankster who recorded himself dumping food on his head and leaving others to clean up the mess has been arrested on Long Island. 21-year-old Kyle Vasquez, or what's his name? Tommy Tough Knuckles.
Kyle Vasquez, a.k.a. Tommy Tough Knuckles.
Was charged with 6 counts of recording people without their consent, 2 counts of criminal tampering. Suffolk County Police say that Vasquez first dumped a tub of eggs over his head at the Ralph's Italian Ices, April 29th. Then he goes to the Wing-Wa, pours the whole bucket of black beans over his head while standing shirtless in the middle of the restaurant.
I mean, but MJ,
they're in the back making General Tso's chicken. You know, they're just trying to do some Kung Pao for DoorDash.
Leave Wing-Wa alone.
Leave Wing-Wa alone.
But MJ, there's a guy, and I think I might have first heard about him through you, Dom the Troll.
Oh, yeah.
He's out on Long Island also.
Yeah.
He's a menace, and he's hysterical. You know, him and like 5 buddies go to like buy a classic car on Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah.
Let's say the car's worth $50,000.
And they'll give you $200.
They get into fights with the guy.
They go out and they make appointments to go look at like cars.
Yeah.
And then they lowball them comically.
He's like, hey, how you doing? I'm Dom. This is my negotiator, Phil, and this is my buyer. This is my money man.
He brings a whole entourage with him. And like one of the guys is like One-Eyed Tommy or something, or I don't know.
The guy gets on his hands and knees, says, "Hey, there's a little scratch under here. That's going to cost you."
Oh yeah, this thing's a piece of crap. I'll give you $200 for it. Meanwhile, it's like a $100,000 classic car, and then they're like, "They get the bleep out of here."
You know, but these people are being recorded and exploited. You know, and it's hysterical.
Well, guess what? Now Tommy Tough Knuckles has been hit with charges and arrested on Long Island.
I bet you're going to see Dom the Troll get arrested in the next couple of weeks or months, because these municipalities, how much tolerance are they going to have for these, you know, not violent people? I mean, they're not, you know, burning down houses or vans, but they're a menace.
Yeah. I mean, they're disruptive to the business. They're leaving a mess.
And the person who's going to be complaining about it's the kind of person that donates to your campaign. If you're a commissioner or a mayor, of course you're going to be cracking down on these guys. But I think these guys are great. I love social media pranksters. Tip of the hat from one pro to the other.
It can go too far.
When somebody gets hurt. So the Asian lady had to clean up some beans. Yes, it's an inconvenience. Is it a felony? Oh, I don't know. It's a public restaurant. Do you need somebody's permission to videotape in a restaurant?
I gave you an assignment yesterday, Fester.
Yeah, I didn't go. I couldn't make it.
Mike.
I couldn't make it. I couldn't make it. I was busy, very busy.
What a disappointment. Listen, I gave Fester an assignment yesterday, and apparently Fester dropped the ball.
No, I couldn't make it. No ball to be dropped. I didn't drop the bag of raisins.
Why couldn't you make it?
I'm a very busy guy. And you have to remember how insignificant this show is in the grand scheme of my life.
All right. So I gave Fester this assignment. I said, Fester, can you do... Listen, it wasn't for me. It was for my wife.
Yeah.
You like Michelle. You get along with Michelle. This was a surprise.
I have no favorites.
This was a treat for Michelle.
Nobody gets special treatment from me.
Hold on. I think we talked about it on the air, so I don't think it was. It's not a surprise.
No, it wasn't a surprise, but it would have been nice. And I have intention to do it. The intention is in my heart.
It would have been nice, but I didn't do it.
Listen, I do a lot of things that would have been nice that I don't do.
Fester, listen.
Maybe I can go Friday.
How difficult would it have been for you just to go to Sam's Club and pick up the milk chocolate covered raisins for my lovely wife, Michelle?
Reasonably difficult. I mean, it takes time out of my day to do this.
If you don't know the backstory, a couple of Sundays ago, Michelle sends me, I had my own errands to do, and I said to Michelle, hey, I'm going to Costco. Is there anything you want? Michelle just wanted one thing. One thing from Costco. Just out of that huge, 80,000 square feet or whatever the hell the size of that building is. Michelle loaded with all kinds of items, just spew out the wazoo, okay? Michelle wanted one thing. She wanted the big plastic tub of Costco Kirkland brand milk chocolate covered raisins. Get to Costco, can't find them anywhere. I asked the front register people, and they dispatched somebody to the candy section, which is kind of right up front. They come back, can't find them. Then the manager goes to the computer and says, oops, discontinued. No more. All done, all gone. Kirkland brand Costco chocolate covered raisins are gone. But then we start getting calls that Sam still has them. I'm getting emails, people taking pictures at Sam's Club.
But are they comparable?
Oh, yeah. They're very, very comparable.
Are they? I don't know.
Now, I'm a Costco member. Well, actually, it lapsed. And you know what? I don't know if I'm renewing. My membership lapsed like 4 days after I made my last Costco run. And, I do that. I don't immediately, because I know that I only go to Costco every couple of months. So I'll wait until my next visit and then renew it right at the register. So I'm not paying for 2 months of membership.
I don't think that's how it goes.
No,
I think they have.
No, it does go that way. I can let it lapse, and the minute I go back, and it just restarts from.
So then you have a new due date?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what happens.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, a membership day starts on June 1st.
No, I
then
think
you're in arrears if you pay August 3rd.
Well, guess what? I'm lapsed. I'm a Costco fugitive right now. I've been lapsed. So anyway, Michelle wants one freaking thing from Costco. It's the milk chocolate raisins, and Costco discontinued the product. But Sam still has it. And I asked Fester, hey, you're a Sam's member. Please just stop by. And I thought it would be really nice to do a nice milk chocolate raisin bucket presentation to Michelle this morning. And you couldn't find time out of you allegedly
Fester.
like Michelle. You allegedly are friendly with Michelle. And you can't
like
get her a simple bucket of raisins?
I allegedly like her more than I like you. And I'll tell you right now, nobody sits that high on my mantle, okay? So tough luck, Chuck. And Sam's Club is not a quick run in and get something. I mean, if you would have asked me to get like a bag of Raisinets from the Circle K, that's a quick run in and get something.
Yeah.
But Sam's Club is a scheduled appointment event.
Fester, I forgive you.
I mean, I'll get it eventually.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't hold your breath if you think it's coming before Monday.
There you go. That's fine. I'll wait. I'm patient.
Yeah.
I'm patient.
She's fine. Who do you think she is? You? Oh, I told you to get the chocolate-covered raisins. I will say they have remarkably high reviews. It's a 4.8, 917 reviews each.
Can you get them before the end of the week? Can you go today?
Can I get them before the end of this week or next week?
No, this week.
It's Thursday already.
So go today and have them for Michelle tomorrow.
That's not how it goes. I mean, listen, this show, I get here 90 seconds before the show starts.
We
I
know.
leave 90 seconds after it ends.
If that.
I have
Kids are out of school.
Yeah.
It's summertime. Fester's got a lot going on.
Why don't you tell the kids it's a free field trip? Hey, tell the kids summer. I got a summer vacation project. We're going to Sam's Club.
Listen,
tell the kids that's our vacation today.
My kids are always down.
That's our summer activity. We're going to Sam's Club.
My kids are always down for choking down a Sam's Club.
All right, 7:20 at the MJ Morning Show. When we get back, we start an hour and 20 minutes of non-stop MJ. When we get back, in minutes, over an hour and 20 minutes, no music, no commercials, just nonstop killer content here on the MJ Morning Show, including we got a lobby problem. I'm sorry if I got to embarrass the place, I've got to embarrass the place. But we've got do you know the lobby problem I'm talking about here at the station?
No.
We got a lobby problem we got to talk
fact
about.
That nobody works up there?
Yeah, it's like we don't have a receptionist anymore. That's a whole different thing. So, all right, we got a lot coming up. 1 hour, 20 minutes of nonstop MJ. Oh, the DoorDash confession. Now, we know this happens, but we have a DoorDash confession. Man, I've got a whole bunch of food delivery stories, including, arrests. And, man, we got some crazy crap. All next, MJ Morning Show, Q105, 104.7 FM. So please stand by. Hey, it is in effect right now. Hurry. It only lasts the month of June. We're early in June. You've got some time, but get it done now so time doesn't slip away. I'm talking about the once a year 15% off everything sale at Zero Res. You want your carpet cleaned. You want your air ducts cleaned. How about area rugs? How about upholstery? How about grout and tile? Whatever you need clean from Zero Res, it's 15% off during the month of June. Hurry. Go to ZeroResTampaBay.com. That's ZeroResTampaBay.com. ZeroRez. Zero Res, which means zero residue, and that's how they clean carpets. They use ZR water. They don't use the chemicals that the other companies use. They leave a residue. Your carpets get dirtier faster. Go to ZeroResTampaBay.com. Please tell them MJ sent you. Get the phone number on the website. Call them up, or you can book online. But always tell them MJ sent you. 15% off everything. ZeroResTampaBay.com. The Hollands, Steve and Elizabeth. They would love to speak with you. The Hollands want to make sure that you don't screw up your retirement. Are you in your mid to late 40s, 50s, in retirement, maybe just a couple of years away from retirement? Get a hold of Steve and Elizabeth Holland. Make sure you are on track with the right investment strategy, that you have the right investment income coming in every month to replace the paycheck that goes away when you retire. Don't get smashed over the head with high taxes. One of the big problems, people think, I'm retiring, my tax obligations go down. Might not be the case. You might be smacked with high taxes. Make sure you have a tax strategy, a full retirement plan. Get a second opinion if you're with another broker or an advisor, or you're doing it yourself. Get a hold of the Hollands. AskTheHollands.com. AskTheHollands.com. And tell them that MJ sent you. It's complimentary, no cost to you. AskTheHollands.com. Traffic's on 723. We do an hour and 20 minutes nonstop MJ next.
In Pinellas, we have a crash.
Non-Stop MJ. So, a little inside baseball, behind the scenes, operational observations on two fronts here at the radio station. First of all, I had a whole bunch of new little, we call them sweepers in the business, but like what you just heard, you know, the MJ Morning Show is on Q105, 104.7 FM. When you hear those things are called sweepers or little IDs, those little recorded promos. When you hear that, like the voiceover and the sound effects coming out of commercials, it's called a sweeper. So I had a whole bunch of new sweepers made, and I had some made for the beginning of an hour and 20 minutes of Nonstop MJ. But this one has a problem. So I write the script. Our voiceover guy says what's on the script, and then they're produced with the sound effects. So these come back yesterday afternoon, and most of the new little sweepers or IDs for the MJ Morning Show sound good. But listen to this one. This is to kick off an hour and 20 minutes of Nonstop MJ, which we're doing right now. No music, no commercials. All you get is phenomenal content for the next hour and 20 minutes plus. Michelle Fester, listen to this and tell me what you hear.
It starts right now. 1 hour and 20 minutes of non-stop MJ. The MJ Morning Show on 104.7 FM, Q105.
All right, did you hear that?
Yeah.
What did you hear?
It starts right now.
Yes.
What is this, Halloween week?
What the hell?
The spookiest morning show out there. It starts right now.
It's Fright Night.
Yeah. He says fright.
Yeah, it's supposed to be it starts right now. Instead, I get it starts fright now.
It starts right now. 1 hour.
What? No, it starts right now. It doesn't start right now.
I mean, is it the element? Because his voice is affected. There's like an element underneath it. Is it the two of them just melding wrong?
It starts right now. 1 hour and 20 minutes of
it's now that right now. I'm scared. I'm frightened.
Now that
I'm frightened by the MJ Morning Show's hour and 20 minutes of nonstop MJ.
I got to admit, I don't like the song in the front.
What is that? Also,
it's unstoppable. It's I'm unstoppable. I mean, I know the song and I've seen it a bunch, but we got to lose that song. It's too repetitive.
I agree.
I'll tell him to take that out.
It's got to start with a punch, and then he has to pronunciate the word. You're a voiceover guy. I'm not a voiceover guy.
Yeah, you're not even pronounce the word, not pronounce whatever you just said.
Pronunciate the word. I didn't say pronounce the word. I said pronunciate.
Pronunciate.
I said it right. I think we're saying the same word just differently.
Right, so fright now.
Welcome to the MJ Morning Show.
We're going to frighten you this morning. Hello, it's the Count.
Is this guy
1 hour, 20 minutes? Let's count 1 minute, the 2 minute, the 3 minute. I'm the Count. Fright now.
Are we getting this guy like a super discount or something where he can't pronounce every word?
No, our voice guy's very good. Our voice, I don't even know the dude's name, but our voice guy is good. I think he's got a great voice. I think he does a great job for us. And usually everything is pronounced properly, but for whatever reason,
his one tick is he can't say the word right.
Right. Fright now.
All right. If you want to come to my house, you make a left, and then you make a fright. And then you make another left, and then one more fright, and I'm the third house on the fright. That's his one thing. He can't say the word right.
All right. We have another piece of internal business, which I think is embarrassing. And I'm going to call Big Scary Ron out on this. In fact, I might even call up Big Scary Ron in a minute.
You don't care.
All right, listen, broadcasting radio in 2025, it's a whole different animal, I'm telling you right now. All right, but we have one other piece of, I think, embarrassing internal information. I'll get to that in a second. First, Andrew wants me to take line 5. Tracy is in Lutz. Tracy, you're on the MJ Morning Show, and Andrew, our producer, says, I've got to take Tracy's call. By the way, Tracy, are you frightened by today's morning show by any chance?
No, I love it.
All right, thank you. All right. Tracy, why are you calling the MJ Morning Show? I don't know.
I have a Sam's Card Pass, and when you buy one, they give you one to give a friend, and I want to give it to you or Michelle.
Oh, wow, because I'm a Costco member. I used to be a Sam's member, but then they closed the Sam's Club in South Tampa, just south of Gandy, and then I was gone. All right, so how long is the Sam's Club Pass good for?
I believe it's a year, but, I've had it a couple months, but I've never used the extra pass. So I figured I could give it to you guys, and if you wanted to go there, there you go.
Well, that would be so. And you're in Lutz?
I'm in Lutz right now, yes.
Well, no, Lutz. Will you be in Lutz later today, or are you just like traveling through Lutz?
I'm traveling through, but I can always come back. There's one on 56. And
Well, hold on a minute. Where
do you live?
Yeah.
What part of town do you live in?
Yeah, where do you live usually?
Where do I live?
Yeah.
What do you mean usual?
In Zephyr Hills.
Oh, so you live in Zephyr Hills.
I gotta say, I love you, but you're I enjoy.
Hold on, Fester. Well, don't.
Who's driving to Zephyr Hills to get a free
on.
Sam's?
Don't disparage our listener.
I'm not. Are you going to go to Zephyr Hills for a free Sam's Club pass?
But I can meet you at the Sam's Club. All you do is go to the counter, give them your ID, they'll give you your pass, and you're good to go.
Yeah, MJ, why don't you meet her at the Sam's Club? Why don't you do that on Saturday?
When do you want to meet at Sam's Club?
Whenever you need to. Whenever you're ready, whenever you have the time.
So you're telling me at my leisure, you will go to so we have to go to Sam's Club to get it done?
Yeah, I believe so, because you have to show your ID, and then they give it to you. They give you the pass, but you got to show your ID. That way it's in your name.
Or I can have it for you in a couple of days. You know what? I think if we order 3 cartons of this raisins, MJ, it'll come over $50. I think Sam's Club delivers it for free. I can have it sent to the house.
All right.
Have it sent to your house.
I'm going to put you on. Listen, your offer is remarkably generous, and I want to thank you very much. And you know what? I think I might take you up on the offer. So maybe sometime this weekend, if I can say, hey, I can be at the Sam's Club at, let's say, 2:30 on Saturday, you'll meet me?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Listen, I can't ask for anything more than this.
How much advance notice do you need? What if he calls you and says, I'll be there in 10 minutes?
I can barely hear you. I'm sorry.
What if MJ calls you up and says, look, it's Saturday. I'll be there in 10 minutes. How much advance notice do you need?
I don't know. I guess if my truck is loud, I'm in a big truck.
Okay.
So I can't hardly hear you.
All right, that's all right. All right. Here's the deal. Is your mic working?
I don't
okay?
know.
Right.
I have no idea. We have so many issues here.
I'm gonna put you on hold, and Andrew's gonna get your information. And if I take you up on the Sam's Club Buddy Pass offer, I will call you. But listen, please note that I'm very appreciative, and you're a very valued listener. It's very kind of you. Okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you very much. Andrew, I put her on hold. Get her contact information.
Andrew, don't worry about it. He's never going to call her.
You're
never going to call her.
Listen,
we appreciate her listening. You're not going to give her a call.
You don't know that.
Oh, let's meet at Sam's Club. I could pick up some baby spinach while I'm there.
She's driving a big truck. Tell him Large sent you.
How big of a truck is she driving?
It's a big truck. Bet you she's got some bumper nuts on there, too, as well, on that big, bad truck of hers. That was very nice. Very, very generous. All right. The other piece of internal embarrassing information, and I was kind of just kicking back to wait and see how long this was going to take. Our lobby television, which is used to show pictures of all the morning shows in the building and the logos of the TV of the radio stations on our TV there, it rotates. But also the lobby TV is also used as a welcome. Back in the olden days, remember you had those old stands with the black felt, and you'd put the white little letters and numbers in the grooves, and you'd spell out a sign. I remember I worked at radio stations, and if a big client was coming in, we'd have a welcome to the so and so company, welcoming. These days we use the big TV in the lobby,
like a digital board TV,
yeah,
right?
And they'll do a graphic. Like right now, there's some client that's coming into the station today.
Yeah, I saw it this morning.
Yeah. I saw it as well. But the TV is busted. The TV is all washed out. The TV has a picture problem. It looks like certified ass, okay?
Oh, my God.
The TV has been busted now for about 6 months.
You want me to go pick up a TV from Sam's Club when I go pick up some raisins?
No. So I've been kind of kicking back, waiting to see how long was going to take the company to replace the broken, washed-out TV where something's happened to the color. The picture quality of the display has just gone to absolute crap, and it's hanging on the wall. What does a client think? Welcome to the Beasley Media Group, and the TV looks like crap. It's garbage. We need a new TV in the lobby.
I mean, we're not a TV station, so you can't hold that against us.
What the hell are you saying?
I mean, the radio works really well. MJ, could it? If you didn't know it was broken, could you tell?
Yes.
I'm asking.
Hold on. Why you?
I don't know,
dude. Look at it. You can't tell it's all washed out.
But if it's the first time you're seeing
why are you not looking at the TV saying, "Ooh, that doesn't look good"? Look at
I look for one thing after the show. The door.
Yeah, I know. You're asking, Fester.
Dude, you said you saw it. How do you not notice that there is something completely wrong with the picture on the TV? You wouldn't tolerate that at your house if you're watching some Netflix series.
Okay, so speaking of series, I started the Boston lady who killed the cop. What, Karen Reed?
Karen Reed.
Oh, she's innocent.
Right?
She is innocent.
Yeah.
The blue wall. Don't get me started.
Hold on.
Oh, Fester, we got to talk about this. Oh, my gosh.
Wall.
Oh, my gosh.
Michelle is completely, just like the bald eagles out in Big Bear watching the Eagles on TV. Michelle is completely enthralled, and Michelle is completely invested in the Karen Reed story.
They're off today, Fester.
Yeah.
You have time to catch up.
So here's the deal on that.
7 weeks from trial.
Before I go back to the TV deal, I want to call Big Scary Ron, our general manager. But if there's enough reasonable doubt, that's all a defense attorney has to introduce. Just introduce reasonable doubt to the jury. And this is the retrial. The first one was a hung jury.
Yeah.
The first one was a mistrial. Hung jury. They could not reconcile. They could not agree. Hung jury. So now we have the retrial, which is going on right now in the whole Karen Reed story up in the Boston area. Was it Canton, Massachusetts is where it is?
What a mess.
All right, let me call Big Scary Ron.
Does he even know the TV? I mean, I saw the TV at the corner of my eye. I didn't read the name on it. I didn't see who it was for.
Yeah.
I didn't notice it.
I mean, is it really essential? I said to MJ, just take it down. Just rip it off the wall. Forget about it. I mean, is somebody who's coming in here and visiting, are they really caring if their name is up there?
One time I had to go to the corporate office of Circle K, and they had on the billboard like "Welcome Fester from MJ Morning Show," and it was the most awkward thing.
Right.
And I'm like, take my damn name down.
Stop. Why did you have to go to the corporate office for Circle K?
To make reparations.
I used to do, I used to do commercials for the Circle K hot dogs. It was like a $2 combo.
By the way, attention Circle K.
I love Circle K.
Attention Circle K.
I got my Polar Pop right here. I love Circle K.
He's holding it up to MJTV.
I love Circle K.
He's not just making it up. He's holding your product. All right. So Circle K, Fester is available to endorse you again.
Years ago, I don't know if it's still there, they had like a headquarters kind of like near Memorial, and they invited me in to sample new roller items. Right? Like all these new taquitos, and it's like, welcome, Fester from the MJ Morning Show. I'm like,
there you go.
Take my damn name down.
Why?
I mean, it's kind of, I'm not a fancy person. I don't need my name up.
Yeah.
They're great. I love Circle K.
All right, I'm calling Big Scary Ron. Let's see if Big Scary Ron picks up the phone at 7:42 on a Thursday morning here on the MJ Morning Show. If not, I'll just leave a message. Yeah, he might not pick up. He might be listening right now and just doesn't want the confrontation.
Nope.
You know what? That's what's happening. Yeah, he doesn't want to hear.
He doesn't want it.
That, we got to...
Hello, Randy Castro.
Ooh.
Is this Big Scary Ron?
Yeah, that's what my wife calls me. Yeah.
Hey, it's MJ. Hey, it's MJ, Fester, and Michelle.
Oh, I thought it was JR and the other morning.
Oh, the other morning show. Hey, are you listening to us this morning? Because I know you were listening yesterday because you came in, after you arrived. Are you listening right now?
No, I wasn't. I was literally about to take a shower.
All right. Hey, Ron, we're talking about the busted TV in our lobby. We've got to get a new TV in the lobby.
Yeah, we're getting a new TV today.
Oh, are you serious?
Yeah, I literally just took it off my wall. I'm charging the company $1,000, and it will be in when I'm in.
All right, listen. All right, Weisenheimer. Now, seriously, I've been sitting back just waiting to see how long it was going to take. But for like...
No, we are getting a new one today. No one told me. Because, TVs aren't exactly the most expensive product.
Well, these days, that's like TVs are like an item that's actually going down in cost.
It's almost disposable.
But, Ron, it's been about 6 months, and I've been kind of playing a game. It's like, how long are we going to allow the TV in our lobby, which is the first thing that people see? How long are we going to allow the TV to be all, like, broken and washed out and, like, half of the color that it should be? And you're telling me literally...
I thought that was you, actually. I thought you were just broken and washed out. But now that I realize it's a TV...
No, I'm broken and washed up.
Oh, okay.
Amen to that, brother.
So you're serious? We're really getting a new TV today?
Yes. Max said, hey, the TV's broken. I'm like, it is?
It's been broken for 6 months.
That's debatable.
Hey, it's Radio 2025.
So the funny thing, MJ, is they bought a new TV for our studio.
Yeah.
They're just going to use that one.
They're taking that out.
We already have a new TV in the house.
We'll never get in the new studio.
We're never going to build that studio.
All right, Ron. Just wanted to make sure you were aware. So we are getting a new TV today.
Yes, we are.
Fantastic. Thank you, Ron.
Okay.
All right. Bye-bye. Big scary Ron on the MJ Morning Show. All right. What are you mumbling about over there? Fester, you realize you're going...
Okay, I'm sorry. Did you ever hear of this school, Embry-Riddle?
Yeah, it's a big aviation university or school.
Okay, so my friend...
They teach, like, airplane mechanics and pilots.
And engineering and stuff?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, my friend Evan tells me he's taking his son to Embry-Riddle today.
Embry-Riddle? What is he, like 6? He's going to become a rocket scientist?
I think he wants to be like some kind of engineer.
Okay.
I don't know what grade he's in. And I thought it was a school that repaired sewing machines.
Why would you think that Embry-Riddle repairs sewing machines?
Because Embry sounds like embroider. And I was like, what is that, a sewing machine school? And he's like, no, dumbass. It's like an aviation school. So he's on the road right now, and I thought of him, and it's a aeronautics school.
All right, 7:45 at the MJ Morning Show. I got the DoorDash story. I know I teased that. It's coming up in just a minute. First, though, I did promote this, that at 7:45 I wanted to talk about Fester wanting Michelle to join OnlyFans.
Ooh, I do.
Yeah.
It wasn't really that he wants me to. It was just a suggestion that it would then generate a revenue stream and I wouldn't be beholden to, you.
Oh, to create a revenue stream since you stopped being a lawyer for money.
Right. Uh-huh.
Now,
which you used to joke me all the time and say, Michelle, your salary doesn't even cover the shoes you wear.
Well, listen, when you first got your first lawyer job as an assistant state attorney, back, in what, 2000 or 2000, whatever it was, let's just say 2000, Michelle was hired at the Hillsborough County State Attorney's Office, and the starting salary for a lawyer back then was like $30,000 a year.
It was $36,000.
You were making 36, and I think you might have been spending more money on clothes and shoes.
Not true.
Well, it sure as hell felt that way. All right. So, Michelle is not a lawyer for money anymore. She does maintain her bar license. Michelle does lawyer occasionally.
When Fester needs services.
Well, for free. Michelle does pro bono. You've worked for Tampa Bay Area Legal Services, and you've been guardian ad litem. So you've done, like, lawyer stuff for free. But Fester wants Michelle, my lovely wife, who's been helping out phenomenally here on the MJ Morning Show. You want Michelle to join OnlyFans. Would you like to explain this business model? Because when people think of OnlyFans, you kind of only think of one thing.
I don't know if I'm comfortable talking about the whole business model.
Come on. It doesn't involve nudity.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah. But isn't like 95% of OnlyFans like nudity and stuff like that?
I think so.
All right, so what do you... Just spill the beans. Just talk. We're a radio show. Tell everyone what you want Michelle to do, what your suggestion is for Michelle on OnlyFans.
Last week we were talking about something, and Michelle made this
The zombie
face.
Yes, yes.
And I made a comment.
Do you remember what it was that prompted you to go, and
Okay, that's like a monkey or a gorilla that you're doing over there. Orangutan. I don't know.
An orangutan missing a chromosome or something. So Michelle does this face, and we have a still frame of it, and you actually have it on your Instagram.
It's on my Instagram. It's Michelle is doing this contorted, and people are sending me DMs. MJ, take that picture of your wife off of Instagram. She's going to divorce you. MJ, if you don't take that picture off of IG, your wife is going to be really, really angry. Thank me later. I'm getting these, and Michelle you were okay with me putting the picture on.
Well, I mean, I did it on the camera because you said the word walkers. We were talking about something, and you said walkers, and immediately when you say that, what comes to mind
you think of the Walking Dead and the zombies.
They called them walkers. And
then,
so I was like, and I did my whole zombie thing, which you apparently like because you made me do it twice.
Right.
And then you put the picture up there. So then Fester said to me the next day.
I was like, Michelle, I saw the picture MJ put on his Instagram of you with the face. It was kind of hot.
So Fester
I was like, you should open up an OnlyFans.
Fester then says that Michelle can make money
just with reaction faces,
doing zombie faces.
No, well, we'd have to open up it a little bit more outside of zombies. I mean, that kink only has a short run.
What kind of additional faces?
I mean, a zombie face is not far off of a really horrified and excited face at the same time. Which isn't too far off of an O face.
Is there anyone making? Listen, this is important.
Oh my God! I can't believe you just said that.
An O face, really?
Listen,
the big O face.
Look at the zombie face. Look at the zombie face. Look at that face.
All right, it's close. I've seen it. I've seen it many times.
Many? I started the whole thing with it being, having a hotness to it, and I'm very guarded, especially talking about friends' wives in front of them. So,
but the four of us know each other well enough that we don't really give a crap.
But I said, Meech, listen, this is a potential revenue stream.
Stop calling my wife Meech.
I'm not. That's what we're gonna call the page. Meech's Moans.
All right.
Oh my God!
Oh,
that's great.
And then she also had the zombie sound effect, which was it was a zombie, and B, wow.
Does anybody make money on OnlyFans if it's not adult nude content? Seriously, I mean, maybe you should Google this. Why don't you go? Seriously, hello Google. Does anyone make money on OnlyFans if it's not adult content? Is anyone making any significant coin? That's what I want to know.
I think we talked about this once before, and somebody was doing something like a cooking thing.
Yeah, I mean, if they're
like one person out of like millions.
I don't know.
If you support somebody through like Patreon, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which you can give money to creators for stuff.
Right.
An OnlyFans page of that person doing their thing that's not, naked.
Yeah.
Is fully plausible. It's just a platform to sponsor people you want to see more of in any capacity.
On to the.
It's not just selling sex. You can do fitness tutorials, consulting sessions, but behind the scenes videos.
I realize that there's other content on OnlyFans, even though I've never been on it. I realize that, but the question is anyone making any significant? You hear about these content creators that are adult stars or whatever, and they're making like, $20, $30, $40 million. There's that young girl that's making like $40 million a year on OnlyFans.
That's probably the outlier.
The question is anyone doing non-adult content and making any significant money? That's all I want to know.
What if we did the MJ Morning Show OnlyFans page and you made enough to cover the car payment? Was that worth it?
No.
You don't have to get naked.
No.
Yeah, you don't have to get naked.
Yeah, but it's the same thing they're getting for free on MJTV.
The lease, my monthly lease.
What
else?
All right, moving along. I got to go to the...
Not a payment, a lease. You don't buy depreciating assets.
That is a lesson.
Can I move along now?
Money lesson.
Are you done?
Why do you keep your cars, Fester?
Are you
they
done?
Only depreciate,
Are you done mocking me?
I mean, is that why you had to correct me when I said car payment? And you had to say, no, it's a lease.
Are you done mocking me?
I'm under on my miles.
Can I move on?
We could do this all day.
Is Macarama over?
The MJ Macarama?
Yeah.
That's funny.
I
got to dance. All right.
On to Uber. Couple of things. Yes, the Uber Eats driver does eat your fries while he's driving your order to you. We've talked about this in the past. This has come up previously, and that's one of the reasons with some of the food deliveries. They don't all do this, but you know damn well that some of the Uber drivers are dipping in, grabbing one of your coconut shrimp. They're grabbing some French fries. I've seen... And I've been at like restaurants, and I don't use Uber Eats. I don't use DoorDash. None of these services come to my house. I don't have any food delivered to my house. If I want something, I'll go out and get it for much cheaper because you're not paying all the jacked up fees. And a lot of times the menu price is even more to begin with when you have it DoorDashed or Uber Eated. So the deal is simple. I don't use those services, but I have seen at restaurants where they're preparing the Uber Eats orders, I've seen them use like a heavy duty, like staple gun.
Yeah.
Stapling the bags close. So I think that there are plenty of restaurants that are doing whatever they can to make it very clear if your bag has been tampered with.
It only comes back on the restaurant if something's been compromised.
Yeah, it doesn't always come back on the driver. So I do know that restaurants are using heavy-duty staplers to staple these bags shut. So it's clear if the Uber driver, opens the bag that it's been tampered with. But there are still plenty of deliveries where it's just in a plastic bag. The Uber guy or the DoorDash guy gets it. And, I saw an item. An Uber Eats driver is spilling the beans on a host of unsavory behind-the-scenes behavior committed by these food couriers. I don't make a habit of it, but yeah, I've taken fries, says Tom, 33 years old. And then, goes through other, stories. When you're stuck in traffic with someone's fries next to you and they smell good and you haven't eaten in hours, it's tough to keep your fingers out of the bag.
I mean, how would they know if you took 5 fries?
Yeah. Here's another one. The bag was open. I took a nugget.
Yeah.
I wasn't proud of it at first, but then it was easy. I took another nugget. And then on subsequent orders, subsequent drives. So, yeah, some of I'm not saying it's all. I don't know if I should try to go to phones.
And who? Talk to either drivers or people who think they've had food stolen?
You know what? I'm going to do this. You know what? I'll do either way. Either way. Are you and then I have another Uber Eats story regarding tips, so we'll end it with that. But quickly, let's see if we can drum up some phone callage on this. Are you an Uber Eats or a DoorDash driver, and have you ever dipped in and said, they're not going to miss one fried shrimp, they're not going to miss a couple of fries? If that's you, if you've ever done this, I want to hear from you. Or conversely, if you've never, and if you're insulted by this content, and you want to say you never, ever, ever have done this, or you never will, feel free to call up. Or if you're a customer and you've had Uber Eats or DoorDash delivered, and you know that they've been in your food, they've been little sample platter going on while they're driving to your house. All right. Anyway, we got multiple areas of your a possibility to respond to this. All right. 800-990-1047 is how you get in. 800-990-1047. So Uber Eats, DoorDash, yep, you've dipped in, you've taken a couple items, you're hungry, or you've never, ever done this as a DoorDash or Uber Eats driver, or if you're a customer and you know damn well they were all up and through your food while driving it to your house. 800-990-1047. So, or any other angle that I'm not thinking of. It's the beauty of having, tens of thousands of listeners. All right. 800-990-1047. That's 800-990-1047. Fire up the phones right now. And if you're one of these delivery, one of these gig delivery drivers and you want to say absolutely not, hey, set my butt straight. Or set this guy, Tom, 33 years old, who says, yeah, he dips in for fries.
You remember I told you a couple of weeks ago I had the greatest day of my life when Wendy's gave out the free year of a cheeseburger.
Oh,
book.
Yeah. Have you been taking advantage of that?
Every week. Every week I go and get my free cheeseburger. And I was there last week.
Yeah.
And there was a food delivery order. And they put all the food, all the Baconators and cups of chili and whatever the guy ordered, they put it all in the bag. And it was a big bag. and they folded the top over, and then they put like a whole sticker right across the seam, so there was no way to open this bag.
Yeah.
So there were fries in there, and there were nuggets in there, and there was, like I said, the Baconator in there, and maybe a Dave's Deluxe, but it was completely sealed off. No way that you could deliver this product in a compromised state.
Right.
You would know if they broke it.
Right, without the consumer knowing.
Best day of your life, like what? The best day of my life.
Hands down,
Like,
I told you before. The best day of my life. The day I
let me
got
go to
4
phones.
Wendy's books of coupons.
800-990-1047. Are you a food delivery driver? Have you ever dipped in and sampled the customer's food? Or absolutely not, and you're insulted? Or if you're a customer and you know that your food has been tasted on the way. How about Karen in Oldsmar? Karen, you're on the MJ Morning Show.
Good morning.
Yes.
My son and my husband both are Uber Eats driver. My number one rule was eat before you go, and I always have snacks in the car, and they have never, ever had anything from anybody's bag.
Never, ever.
Absolutely not.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much for checking in. All right, Karen. How about Samantha in Tampa? Samantha, you're on the MJ Morning Show.
Hi. I used to be an Uber driver about 5 years ago, and I did Uber Eats, DoorDash, Postmates, all of that.
Yep.
I had a huge bag in the back of my car. I would never touch anyone's food. That's disgusting.
All right, very good. You ever slam on the brakes and the food went flying?
Maybe a time or two, but
You know what you got to do? Yeah, to prevent that from happening.
hurry up and grab it real quick in the back.
Yeah. Or, you know how you're supposed to use those little restraints for dogs?
Yes.
Yeah, you restrain the bags in the back, like the doggy seat belts. Yeah, there you go. Samantha, thanks for the call. Look at that. So she says that's disgusting. She would never do it. Debbie and Brandon. Debbie, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Doing well.
Thank you. I am a driver of all of those gigs, Grubhub, DoorDash, Uber Eats, and I can honestly say I've never touched the food. I will say one thing. When I get the food, I have a holder in my trunk. I put it in there because also you don't want the food to get cold.
Oh, you put it in the trunk. That also, it's so far away from you. It if you have a temptation that it keeps you from, look at that.
But also she's saying it keeps it warm.
It's like a chastity belt trunk.
Yes.
Well, also, if I'm going to McDonald's and I love their fries, I'm going to order my own while I'm picking up that order.
Oh, okay.
I'm not going to dip into anybody's. In fact, I've gone back to the establishment like before picking up the bag. If it doesn't look sealed enough, just because I know customers complain. And there are people, we're on Facebook, some of these drivers probably are on Facebook forums for these different ones.
Yep.
There is, I'm not going to mention names, but there's an Uber Eats driver that brags about getting free meals, shows pictures on Facebook. It's disgusting.
Listen, this is why I'm taking calls on this. We've had 3 in a row now. Thank you. How about John and Lutz? John, MJ Morning Show, you're up.
Hey, MJ, how you doing, buddy?
Doing well. And by the way, some of the Uber Eats drivers that were interviewed here, they're calling it the food tax.
Well, hey, look,
Yeah.
I got a good idea. If I owned a restaurant, right?
Yep.
I would give the Uber driver a free meal whenever they want. And everybody would know, hey, listen, I'm going to order from this guy because he gives the Uber guys free food, because you go to work to make money. Nobody wants to spend money on food when they're working. You know what I mean?
Yeah, listen.
You're obviously not in the restaurant business, are you, John?
Hey, listen, John, I got another idea. Your call has just prompted me to have another idea. You know when you rob a bank and they slip the die pack in?
Yeah.
There ought to be, the customer has some kind of code to disengage the die pack. So if the Uber Eats or the DoorDash driver tries to get into your food, a die pack explodes and it blows purple dye all over themselves and the inside of their vehicle. But when the customer...
No, that's a bad idea, brother. Bad idea.
Thank you. Have a nice day. I think he took me seriously. But the customer, they have a code to disengage it online. Yeah, you type before you open the bag. You go online, you type in a code, and it turns the dye pack off. It disengages the dye
You
pack.
need to use that Mission Impossible popcorn bucket with the special key.
Yeah.
And open it up.
There you go.
And then
There you go.
extract your food from the.
Look at the phones. The phones are on fire here. All right, let me just take. Hey, Andrew, just George, Jay, and Heidi, and then 3 more calls quickly. How about Jay in Tampa? Jay, MJ Morning Show. Go ahead.
Hey, good morning, MJ. Great show, guys. I love listening to you.
Thank you.
Hey, so my wife and I were starving. I ordered some food there. We live in South Tampa, and we ordered from an Italian joint. I'm not going to say the name, but we were starving to get the food. Took a little while. And finally, when it gets there, the guy that brought it to us looked like a freaking serial killer. We were like, we look at each other, and we just dumped the food in the trash. We were
Wait
like,
a minute.
okay, we're
Hold
not
on.
eating this.
The DoorDash or Uber Eats guy looked like a serial killer?
Like a serial killer.
All right, so listen, it's not the restaurant's fault. It was the driver creeped you out.
The dasher.
Creeped us out completely.
Oh, here's dinner.
Looked at each other, and we're like, oh shit! I guess we're gonna have macaroni and cheese.
All righty, thank
Start
you.
boiling the noodles now.
All right, guys.
Thanks. All right, thanks, Jay. Have a nice day. I think did I hit the dump button on that? I think it looks like it. George in Plant City. 2 more. George, Plant City. You're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi.
Hey, how's it going? Yeah, I DoorDash in Plant City, but like Fester was saying, like, well, the only ones that do is like McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's. They put 3 or 4 stickers on that after the bag when they fold it over. You can't get in it. But I'll confess, I have been to like Chili's. They just throw it in a plastic bag. I have taken me a free wing or two.
Oh, you got wing sauce all over your steering wheel.
Yeah, I got to shove 2 doors all over my shirt. Here's the food.
you show. Oh, that's gotta suck. You show up at their front door and you've got wing sauce all over your shirt as you're delivering their hot wings.
Oh man!
Look at that.
I was saying it is hard to get into a lot of the bags. So.
But look, you're a driver. You're confessing you've grabbed a wing or 2.
Oh, I have. Yeah, and a couple fries now and then.
All right, thank you, George. Look at that.
Hey, let me say one last thing. Bring back Froggy. Y'all have a good day.
All right, thanks. I think Froggy wrecked that. Heidi in Largo. Heidi, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi, Heidi.
Good morning, MJ crew. How y'all doing today?
Heidi ho.
That's it.
Yep.
I'm a DoorDash evening person, mostly on weekends. I love to pick up from McDonald's because they even put the drink inside the bag, so there's no way for you to do anything. Not that I want to, because I'm that opposite. I don't want anything to do. If I pick up, say, from a Burger King, Burger Kings do not fasten their stuff. And I'll go back in there and ask them for extra. If I get it to the car and I'm like, it's coming off already,
yep.
I like to go in there and ask them for extra stickers because I don't want anybody to ever think that anybody has gone through this bag, either myself or somebody else. So that's what I do.
Oh, Heidi, you've just given me another idea. You know what? Let me tell you right now, if I were a restaurant owner and I was preparing food for like the gig deliveries for DoorDash, Uber Eats, whatever, I would get sealing wax. You know how when the Pope dies,
Yeah.
they seal the whole door. They put the ribbon across and they seal the Pope's quarters with the seal. I would seal all of my bags with sealing wax and seal the bag with dripping red wine, like a Maker's Mark bottle or something. You know?
You have to provide something to unseal it for the customer when they get it.
Yeah, I'll give them an X-Acto knife. All right, thanks for the call. All right, there we go. All right, one other thing regarding these, food deliveries, and tell me what you think about this. This would be a quickie. This is 1 minute, and we're done. We're moving on. A customer was stunned when a DoorDash driver shows up and demands an extra tip because they delivered in the rain. And listen, we're coming into the rainy season. We've had a lot of rain last couple of days. And summertime, typically our daily summer rains are, most likely on the way. So what are your thoughts about that? A DoorDash customer was surprised, caught off guard, when the driver asked for an extra tip on top of what was already, I guess, promised or committed with the order. The DoorDash driver wanted a handout for an extra tip because they were walking up to the door in the rain.
Oh, man.
Would you like to think about this while we enjoy? But
Yeah.
he was Orange Juice Jones.
Right.
Is the guy's name.
What a dumb name. I've never heard of this guy.
Hold on.
I'm not a music guy.
You never heard of the song?
No.
You never heard this song? Oh, man. What's wrong with
How
you?
many dudes is she walking with in the rain? I saw you and him and him. There's going to be a party, and he's not
All right,
invited.
any thoughts on the DoorDash driver wanting extra money because it's raining?
Oh, man. You know what? I mean, you don't consider that when you put the tip in.
Yeah.
Sometimes you don't consider the effort that goes into something when you initially put the
Man,
tip
that
down.
didn't sound right. You don't consider that when you put the tip in.
I
That,
never
that,
cons-
didn't, that didn't sound right.
I never, dude, I
I'm
never
sorry.
consider the effort when I put the tip in.
That didn't sound right.
But when you enter the fee that you'll pay this person to
Yeah.
ensure promptness, the
Yeah.
tip, you don't think about them having anything but perfect conditions.
What if it's not raining at the restaurant and then it's raining at your house, or vice versa? Or what if it just like whips up? You know how it does in South Tampa? Like it looks fine, and then suddenly the clouds blow in, and boom, you have torrential downpour.
I mean, the entire Tampa Bay area gets hit with a quick storm, and I mean, maybe, yeah. I mean, I'm not opposed to it.
Do you remember a couple of days ago I was mentioning that somebody had already smashed into the right side wall on the Howard Franklin Bridge?
Yeah.
And this is, again, this is on the St. Pete side. If you're on 275 South, Howard Franklin Bridge, you come over the hump, you leave Hillsborough, you're in Pinellas County. A couple of miles before you actually get to the land on the Pinellas side, on the right side, there's all kinds of black marks, and somebody bashed into the wall. There are skid marks in the road. And I'm like, what the hell happened here? So the skid marks, they go from like the center all the way to the right. It looks like they hit the wall, and there's all kinds of the beautiful new concrete wall on the side of the Howard Franklin Bridge. And somebody smashes in. Then the skid marks then veer across on the other side. And I don't know if I noticed this originally. I don't know if it's new, coincidentally, in the same spot. But across from where the black marks are on the wall on the Howard Franklin, now on the left side, it looks like something burned to the ground. It's all charred.
Car fire, man.
It's like a big barbecue pit gone bad or something.
That's the mark that's left after an entire vehicle is just engulfed in flames.
You know, there was one on the Gandy. There was one on the eastbound Gandy for a while, where it was like, what the hell? It was like somebody spontaneously combusted in this place.
After they get rid of the vehicle and sweep up the debris, do they pressure wash it or something? Or is it just the rain and time clearing it up?
Anyway, I just want to point that out. What the hell burned to the ground now on the, if you look over to the left on the Howard Franklin South on 275, there's a whole big char spot. All right, moving along. I'm going to say something remarkably controversial right now. And I'm looking for Fester's reaction. I think I'm particularly looking for Michelle's reaction. But I want to know what you, the MJ Morning Show listener, thinks about this. This could be one of the most controversial things that I say in a very long time. It is breakfast sucks.
What?
Those are not my words.
Oh,
I was reading a whole story. A blogger wrote about that breakfast really sucks when you break down what breakfast is and how limiting it is. And he's talking about a bowl of porridge, just some cooked eggs, that breakfast is really the blandest. it lacks the most variety of other foods like lunch and dinner and why. And it sort of goes, listen to me, it sort of goes into the pigeonholing of like certain things you have to have for breakfast.
No.
And there are other food items that you have for lunch or dinner that, you can't have that for breakfast. And I remember this brought me back to an old story of my grandma Franny. And I would eat like cold pizza left over from the night before from the fridge for breakfast. And and she'd be like, "Oh, Todd, you can't eat cold pizza for breakfast. You're going to get a tummy ache." You know?
Yeah. I mean,
So-
there are foods that you associate with breakfast that typically are outliers to eat during the rest of the day. I mean, but you know what? I'd be lying if I said I never had Captain Crunch for dinner. You know?
Really?
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah,
so
bowl of cereal for dinner.
I have a bowl of cereal for dinner all the time.
Yeah.
I've had it occasionally, or sometimes we did a thing with the kids. We called it backward dinner.
Backward dinner, dinner for breakfast,
Yeah,
or breakfast for dinner.
We've done backward dinner where we just have like scrambled eggs or whatever. But this individual, Jack Crosby, wrote a whole blog piece, and the headline is "Breakfast Sucks," and it just goes into. I'll read a little bit. However, I'm not going to write that blog today because in the process of thinking about it, I got hungry at the awkward time of 11:15 a.m., which made me think about breakfast, which I dislike. Breakfast sucks. Take stock of yourself in this moment. What are you feeling? I imagine it is some kind of revulsion, disgust, or anger from, I guess he read some kind of Washington Post story and then wrote this. You're thinking of eggs and pancakes and all of the beloved foods you associate with cozy mornings at home or compassionable trips to a diner with friends. You're not wrong to grasp for these memories in time of crisis, but allow yourself to feel them and move on. We have serious thinking to do and cannot allow ourselves to be swayed by sentimental excess.
This guy should be shot.
Listen, breakfast sucks. It is an ill-timed, inconvenient, and largely superfluous meal. The most important meal of the day? Shut up! Here's my beef with breakfast. You could go straight to lunch. Lunch food is better. It's not so much that I have a problem with eggs and pancakes and traditional Western breakfast foods. I like them. They are fine, but to me, they represent a fundamental stunting of the human experience, a gravitation towards bland comfort and simplicity that treats the beginning of our days like infancy as we crawl blearily toward plates and bowls of things like porridge or cereal or oatmeal.
This guy's an asshole.
Yeah,
Michelle,
he is. He is.
Stop it.
He's a terrible person.
Don't say
Okay,
that.
first of all, that's all wrong. Just because he has some weird association where he can only eat certain foods at certain times of day. Let me tell you what our pediatrician told us when we had the kids and we were like trying to figure out what to eat. He was like,
is this
Michelle.
Dr. Patisi?
Yes. Michelle.
Yeah, rest in peace. What a great doctor, Dr. Patisi.
And he told me this. He was like, Michelle, you know what you can do? You can feed them their vegetables for breakfast in the morning. And I was like, what? And he goes, nobody says you have to have the vegetables at dinner time. Because I was saying, like, how do you get them to eat that? He goes, have them eat that first thing in the morning. When they're really hungry, they'll eat those veggies. Have them eat it on the way to school. Or when you pick them up after school, have the little tray of veggies ready for the snack. When they're really hungry, they'll eat what you're giving them. And I was like, oh, yeah. So that's what we did sometimes. And look, you can add an omelet to an omelet, Fester. Wouldn't you add like cheese and broccoli, mushrooms, tomatoes? So you make it just like a dinner thing. It's like rice. Instead of having rice, you have an egg.
Every meal is potentially a really bland, simple
Yeah,
meal.
yeah.
Listen, the guy goes on. Grits, cream of wheat. Look at yourself. You're taking no risks in life. You are shoveling gruel into your gullet simply by virtue of it being before noon. The advent of hot sauce and cross-cultural delights like huevos rancheros has improved the overall experience somewhat, but when it comes down to it, the flavor profile of most traditional breakfast foods is bland, greasy, or sweet. They pair well with Diet Coke, sure, but you know what else does? Almost everything else you can get for lunch.
Stop talking.
A farce.
Yeah.
Stop saying that, Michelle.
You're taking one guy's opinion who is an outlier.
Yeah.
I'm not a crazy breakfast person.
I told you it was going to be controversial. You know what we ought to do?
I'm a breakfast person.
It's not okay. It's not controversial. It's wrong.
All right, hold on to that thought. Just hold on. 800-990-1047. Couple of calls. I'm not going to belabor this because I've got too much crap to get to. All right, we're in the middle of an hour and 20 minutes of nonstop MJ here on the MJ Morning Show on Q105, 104.7 FM Tampa Bay. All right, call us up. Do you agree that breakfast sucks, or do you think this guy is a bleep hole like Michelle keeps blurting out? All right, 800-990-1047. 800-990-1047. Do you agree or disagree with this guy saying that breakfast sucks in the scheme of things? All right, Fester, you can pick up now, or did you already speak your piece?
I care so little about this person. I rarely.
Do you want him to die? Sounds like Michelle does.
I rarely wish meteors hitting people's homes. But if one were to hit this guy's house, I'd be like, meh.
Maybe his electricity should just, go out so he couldn't blog about stupid stuff like this anymore.
I don't like this person. I can't be friends with this person, and I have no desire to spend any time with this person.
All right, Michelle, before I go to phones, do you have any other final words?
Asshole.
Michelle.
Well, you baited
I just dumped that.
Okay.
I dumped that one. That was enough. I've had enough.
I'm done with this. You know me. I like to go for what? I'll go for a pancake, French toast, or waffle, and then I add my eggs and bacon to it. If I have that at like a Kiki's or the Brunchery or First Watch, I'm done for the day. I don't even need a dinner.
Michelle loves breakfast, so you could clearly never be married to this guy.
I'll tell you this.
Oh, no.
Breakfast is my favorite meal to go out for.
Yeah.
I'd rather go out for breakfast than go out for dinner.
Me too. All day long.
Let's go to phones. Carissa, I'm telling you, every line is jammed. This is controversial, man. This could be the most controversial thing we've ever done on the MJ Morning Show in the history of the entire show.
Sure.
All right, all 30 plus years of this show. All right, Carissa in Port Richey. Carissa, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hello.
Hello, how are you?
Doing well. What do you think?
That guy's not right. I am not a big breakfast person. I usually eat around like maybe 10. And if I feel like having an egg, I will. If I feel like having a pizza, I will have a slice of pizza. Or, and you can mix it up. There's all kinds of French toast. There's all kinds of waffles and whatever.
Yeah. All right.
So, yeah.
All right, Carissa, thanks for the call. That's why I'm taking calls. Bill, I wonder if anyone's going to agree with this guy. Is anybody going to say, yeah, that guy is spot on correct? Bill in Parrish. Hello, Bill. You're on the MJ Morning Show.
Hey, good morning, MJ. How you doing?
We're doing well. Go ahead.
First of all, I don't think there's any controversy. Breakfast rocks. One of the best meals you can do. Sets you up for the day, makes you happy, puts you in a good mood. Totally agree with Michelle's comments on that writer of the article on what he is.
Yep.
See? There you go. Thank you.
Thank you, Bill. Let me grab Egan in Newport Richey. Egan, you're on the MJ Morning Show.
Hey, so I'm a breakfast fan, but there was a study done about 4 to 5 years ago proving that breakfast is not actually the most important meal of the day and that it's actually lunch.
Yeah, I agree with that too. I mean, there's a lot of people touting like intermittent fasting and, not eating for the first 6 hours of your day. And I get that. But if you're going to eat for breakfast, I don't think it's the most important meal of the day, but I think it might be. I think it's the most delicious meal of the day.
Egan, thanks for the call. Bluesy is in Brandon. Hello, Bluesy. You're on the MJ Morning Show.
Hey, you guys are great. Been listening to you now for a long time.
Thank you.
And also, I'm for breakfast. Any time of day.
Bluesy from Brandon for breakfast.
What's that?
I said Bluesy from Brandon for breakfast.
Yes, exactly right. Thank you.
Bluesy, have you had breakfast this morning? Have you had breakfast yet?
No, I haven't, but I'm getting ready to.
And what's it going to be, Bluesy? What's Bluesy and Brandon having for breakfast?
I think I'm going to...
you should say blueberry pancakes.
I don't know where I'm going yet.
All right.
Hey, thanks. Love you guys.
Thank you, Bluesy. Have a great day. All right, 2 more calls. Judy in Tampa. Judy, MJ Morning Show, you're up. Go.
Good morning, and thanks for taking my call.
Oh, yeah.
I am huge MJ Morning fan, and I'm also a breakfast fan. Brenner, breakfast for dinner is Brenner.
Brenner.
And I also agree with Michelle. If you can't get your veggies in the afternoon, give it to them in the morning.
I'll do a veggie omelet,
There you go.
All right. Thank you, Judy. Appreciate you calling in. More calls are sneaking in. Let me finish up with Heather and Andy. And Andrew, shut it off. Cut it off. Heather, Palm Harbor. Heather, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Welcome.
Hey, good morning. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely.
I am a lover of breakfast. We love breakfast over here. But what I thought was so funny about the piece that you read was that he was talking about it like it's an inconvenience in the morning. And I love slow mornings. Like, we need to appreciate slow mornings a little more. Just like chilling out with a coffee and having breakfast is such a good start to the day. I can't imagine rushing through it or skipping it.
Exactly. I totally agree with that.
Heather, thanks for the call, and we'll finish it with Andy in Lutz. Andy, MJ Morning Show, you're up. Hi.
Good morning. How you guys doing?
Doing well. Thanks for calling. Go ahead.
I love breakfast, but I don't get to eat it except for the weekends because of work. So it's usually coffee for breakfast during the week, but on the weekends, there's nothing better than going out for breakfast.
See?
I agree 1,000%.
There you have it.
Nothing better.
Thank you.
Have a great day, guys.
You too.
And how often do I say on the weekends, who wants to go for breakfast with me?
Yeah.
And I make you guys drag me out because I'm like, I've been cooking it all week. Let's go out, and everything is made. I don't have to dirty the kitchen.
All right, Michelle.
Yeah.
I love your buttermilk biscuits. Why are you depriving me? Would you please make your Southern Living buttermilk biscuits? Will you make them this weekend, please?
I'll think about it.
Why are you not? I've asked you for months now to make the biscuits.
Months.
I'm being serious. I'm not. Why are you mocking me?
I mean, you're kind of grovelly here. It's really
because Michelle makes an amazing. She uses the Southern Living buttermilk biscuit recipe with 100% pure fat buttermilk, not that low fat. Who the hell is buying low fat buttermilk?
You're right here just disproving this dude's blog because you're talking about how tasty and delicious this big fat filled biscuit is.
I love your
with
biscuit.
The eggs and the cheese and everything.
And you
so,
got to use you got to use white lily flour. If you're making Southern buttermilk biscuits, it is a must that you have to use white lily, winter wheat, self-rising flour. That's essential. And then the frozen butter. You got to use frozen butter chunks. Listen, will you commit right now to making me? I don't care whether it's Saturday
morning. If you
morning.
can commit to me being off on Monday.
Yeah, I mean.
I'll make biscuits for you this weekend if I don't have to come in on Monday morning.
MJ, we're using the old gal like a rented mule around here. You want her to put together some biscuits for you. I mean,
we'll see. We'll see what's happening. Yeah.
Oh, man.
We have no plans this weekend, right?
No, guess what? You know what my big plan is this weekend?
What?
All right, folks, you're about to hear it. Here we go.
I don't know.
It's 8:25. It is Thursday morning, MJ Morning Show. This is what? The 5th of June. Do you know what my big plan is?
I think I do.
For the 7th of June. I've got big plans on Saturday, June 7th coming up. This is what the biggest weekend plan I have.
Is the hazardous waste recycling?
Yes. My big plan this weekend is dropping off 32 4-foot used old fluorescent tubes from my garage lighting at the Hillsborough County hazardous waste dump off of Sheldon Road on Saturday morning. That's the only plan.
Yeah. Here's MJ's wild weekend. The hazardous waste dump and then returning peaches to Costco.
And so, Fester, you know him now.
No, they're plums. And
Plums,
also,
whatever they are.
And I'm bringing the bad plums back. And if you didn't see the video of the horrible plums that I got at Costco, which I'm bringing, hey, Costco, I'm putting you on notice. I'm bringing back the plums on Saturday morning as well. So if you miss these terrible plums that I'm spitting out in projectile fashion, if you miss this video, go look at the video. It's on my Instagram. Certified MJ Radio. That's Certified MJ Radio. And give me a follow while you're there.
Fester, how many rules does he follow ever?
Not many.
Right. And this is the one rule he has picked to follow, the hazardous waste disposal rule.
You gotta go drop the hazardous waste stuff.
Oh, yeah. If he catches me, like, I don't even know it. Like, it doesn't even occur to me. I'm going to throw something. Oh, no, that has to go. Batteries. No, Michelle, put them in the special box because we're going to take them to the house. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, my God.
One time I was going to throw a car battery in the bay, and he's like, no. No, don't do that, people. That's a joke.
Hey, I'm trying to find a story that I printed out, and I can't seem to find it. I might need to print it out again. Hold on a minute.
Do you have a printer?
I do have a.
What's the story? I'll look
Yes.
it up. Give me some keywords.
It's the lady that's suing, or I'm sorry.
Suing.
No. It's a lady. That was sued by Hale's Black Brick Chinese restaurant.
Hale's
Yeah.
Black Brick.
Brick. Yeah, exactly. No.
Blackbird?
The lady. Here we go. All right, just stop. I'll take it from here. So the lady is not getting is not doing the suing. The lady got sued
For leaving a review?
for leaving a bad review for the Hale's Black Brick Chinese restaurant. Now, I've not been there. So I have never been to the Hale's Black Brick.
So it's the old Poppin' Sons.
Yeah, on
Dale Mabry.
Exactly.
And I think there's a new location in Hyde Park that's either open or will be opening shortly.
All right, this story is crazy, and it was. Let me refresh this. Hold on a minute.
I had an opportunity to meet Chef Hale before. He invited me to his place, and I haven't been yet. But he's from everything I've heard, it's a pretty nice place.
Yeah,
I think Chloe's been a couple times.
Yeah, Chloe has been there, and Chloe has spoken highly of it, but I have not been. So,
what did she say?
Chef Hale's has not invited me.
Did she say lies?
Well, hang on.
Did she say, like, they served me poop? I mean, what did she say that was worthy of being
No,
sued?
she didn't say that,
I mean,
Fester.
if somebody lies about a restaurant, that's one thing. But if she feels in her perception she had a bad experience, how do you sue somebody over that? I mean, every restaurant has an off night.
Right.
All right. So here's the story. Let me read the story. I'm bringing it up on my laptop because it's not working. I thought I printed it out. I can't find the freaking thing. All right. So this was in the Tampa Bay Times. So credit to the Tampa Bay Times. Helen Frund. So she wrote the story. The headline is, she reviewed a Tampa restaurant on Yelp, then came a lawsuit. In December 2023, Irene Eng sat down for dinner at Hale's Black Brick, a popular spot off Dale Mabry Highway in Tampa, specializing in seasonal new Asian cuisine. She and her group of friends dug into dishes that included tiger shrimp, lamb chops, spare ribs, eggplant and mushrooms, and chocolate cake. Then Eng did what she often does after a meal, went online to leave a review. Probably will return, one of better fusion restaurants I've been to in Florida. She's from Waimama. She wrote a 795-word critique. But then she wrote, quote, but the meat quality is subpar.
Okay.
After she posted the review, things escalated quickly. The restaurant responded to Eng's post, calling it abusive, disrespectful, and arrogant. The restaurant's executive chef and owner, Richard Hales, sent Eng a cease and desist letter after Eng reposted the same review on Yelp, Google, and TripAdvisor. Then he filed a lawsuit. Yelp added a pop-up consumer alert to Hale's Brickhouse's page, warning diners that the business may have tried to abuse the legal system in an effort to stifle free speech.
Yeah, I have to completely disagree with the chef. I mean,
though a judge eventually dismissed the lawsuit, the legal row illustrates the fragile, sometimes contentious relationship between chefs, restaurant owners, and the people they serve. Platforms like Yelp, TripAdvisor, and other sites give diners the... I'm laughing because of the South Park Yelp episode.
We're Yelpers. Yes, we're Yelpers. We're going to give you a bad review on Yelp.
Remember the South Park?
I remember.
That's funny.
But to your point on that, there are abusive Yelpers who try to gain a system or try to get something at a discount.
Or get free crap. Or, you know.
And that's completely wrong
It
as
is.
well. And to use and violate the restaurateur that way.
All right, so the judge in Hillsborough County dismissed the lawsuit. So platforms like Yelp, TripAdvisor, and other sites give the diners a chance to speak candidly about their experiences, ranking and reviewing restaurants as if they were food critics at a local news outlet. But there are a few guardrails to ensure that fairness and accuracy in an online world where anyone can share whatever, any opinion they want on a whim is what's written. So, again, that's just kind of bizarre. Now, I've seen restaurant owners like attack customers. And in fact, I mentioned there's a pizza shop that I like when I'm near my parents in Fort Lauderdale. There's a pizza shop called Heritage Pizza in Fort Lauderdale, and they do a nice pizza. They got great salads, paninis. They've got some great pastas. They make a good pizza. And if anyone leaves any negative review, the owner goes ape crap on their butt.
And that would be the chef's right to do that as well.
But I think it's almost sort of a game. I think I think people are leaving bad reviews that it's almost comical.
Yeah, this guy's easily triggered on that.
No.
The pizza guy.
No. I'm thinking that the pizza, it's almost like a shtick at this point. That we read the reviews. Remember, I don't know, a year ago.
Let's focus on the restaurant that's actually in town. I mean, this chef.
No, I'm just talking about some restaurants, and
the chefs have an opportunity to reply back.
Yeah, you can.
I've seen reviews where people have left negative reviews, and they go, "Oh, thank you for bringing it to our attention." Or if Chef Hale would have written something like, "Where is that coming from? What is par if ours is subpar? What do you think we're doing here? We completely disagree with your critique of our restaurant."
I had heard that the food quality is good. I just haven't been. For Chinese, I'm kind of traditional. And, I like, for Chinese, when I do Chinese, we go to typically China Yuan.
Yeah.
Over on Armenia. That's my go-to,
But this is
authentic.
a totally different vibe.
Yeah. So it's a totally different vibe. And I know people have said it's very good. Chloe's been twice. Our daughter's been there twice, and she's said it's good. But it's kind of weird the way he responded. But then the lawsuit was dropped because, a judge said, no, this is not going forward. But just interesting that he did file a lawsuit.
Because I'm reading the complaint online.
Yeah.
I guess she included with her negative review a picture of Chef Hale's wife.
What would that have to do with the price of tea in China?
Well, I'm trying to read it quickly here.
Okay.
I mean, what's
the
Michelle, my lawyer, is going through the complaint right now, which was dismissed.
She has to read. Is it the complaint or is it all 795 word review she left?
No, I'm reading the actual complaint that he filed.
On Google, they have a 4.5 review, 635 reviews.
Right.
So if somebody has a complaint, they are obviously the outlier. They are obviously the person who's not agreeing with the vast majority of the people. And every restaurant has that one or two or a handful of people just pitching a fit about something.
So he's saying that by her publishing that negative review, that it's tortious interference because repeat customers and new customers could see that. And so it's,
Yeah, that's what that's what Yelp is. New customers and repeat customers can see it, Chef. I disagree with you here. If you're going to open a restaurant and there are these sites that you're aware of, people are going to criticize you. And, you need a skin thicker than Peking duck.
That's very good, Fester. Very good.
Well, the chef, his ass is chapped because he got a negative review. And listen, this guy has an ego, and this guy fashions himself, MJ, as a low-level celebrity chef.
Hold on, I thought he invited. He's not going to invite you anymore.
I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care about.
Now, Chef Hales, I will take this is MJ. I will take an invitation to try your place.
Listen, Chef Hale is like friends with the Guy Fieri guy, and he's been on a couple of. He's been in the Asian, or he's been in the restaurant scene in Miami and New York, I believe.
Wait, is he friends with this one?
Salt Bay?
Yeah.
He might be.
The Salt Bay guy?
Might be. But,
I think Salt Bay, dude, I think he's on the decline.
I think so, too.
Yeah,
if you have, if you're going to be this butthurt over a bad review, the fault lies with the chef. And I support the chef, but I support people's freedom of speech.
Chef Hales, if you would like me to attend, you want to invite me, I'm happy to check out your place.
Was he going to sue me for calling him a low-level celebrity chef? like an E-lister?
That'd actually be good publicity if he did sue you for that. All right, 8:37 at the MJ Morning Show. This is terrible. This is awful. A well-known band had their instruments stolen before a show. My God. So valuable instruments stolen. The band, I'm going to give you a hint. I'm going to give you a musical quick little blip. You know how I play the little musical blip game?
Yeah, you played it yesterday with the talking heads.
Do you know what that was?
Well, hold on. I didn't know you were going to play your blip right there. What are we doing? You going to play your blip again?
Yeah, I was playing it. Do you know what song that was? All right, listen again. Any idea?
Is it the same blip you played?
Well, there was a little blip further in on the song. Let me give you the beginning blip again. And what song? This is a big band. This is a very, very well-known band. And just prior to their concert, instruments were stolen. Do you know the name of the band? All right, what about if I give you, how about this?
That one I know.
That's another song from the, do you know it?
Yeah. I'm not going to say anything.
Because we
You're
don't
going to let Fester.
Listen, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't care.
You don't know that song?
Oh, yeah, the band that plays boom. Oh, I'm a big fan. Boom. What is that? Boom, boom.
Come on, what song is that?
Benny and the Jets?
No.
Boom.
Michelle knew was the blurby beginning of, Alone. Yeah, Heart, the victim of theft.
Ann and Nancy Wilson, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So the band Heart was preparing for a concert in Atlantic City at the Hard Rock in Atlantic City, and they were the victims of theft of their beloved instruments, a vintage 1966 mandolin and a custom-built guitar.
Wow.
That sucks.
Holy crap. You know what? Somebody make sure that they didn't put those on the wall at the Hard Rock Cafe. They might have just ripped them off and put them up on the wall.
That stinks.
Yeah, that's terrible.
That sucks. And now Heart is offering a reward for their return. The staff at Guitar Center, a few miles outside of Atlantic City, got a text message from their manager notifying them to be on the lookout for a couple of prize stolen instruments stolen from the band Heart before their concert this past weekend at the Hard Rock Casino in Atlantic City. I woke up to a text this morning that had a big article off of Facebook, said Stephen Vanna with the Guitar Center. It had all the information about it. It had a picture of the guitars, so we had a visual reference. That sucks that somebody ripped off their instruments. Oh, man, that's terrible.
Yeah. Inside job.
The theft
somebody
happened,
had to know.
Yeah, the theft happened Friday on the eve of their tour. In their post, the band wrote that members of the band were devastated to discover that two irreplaceable instruments were stolen from the venue where the gear had been set up the day prior. So it was,
they just left it out?
It's somebody that had access to inside the venue. I mean, how tough is it going to be to figure out who ripped off the instruments? I mean, they should know. They should have. Listen, it's a freaking casino.
Yeah.
They've got cameras up your butt.
Right.
Cameras are everywhere.
All right.
You got it. They got to see somebody going in and out of there.
Yeah, but that's awful. That somebody ripped off their beloved instruments. I feel so bad for Ann and Nancy Wilson.
Are they sisters?
Yes. Barracuda. What about this one? How about this one? Crazy on you? Yeah. Crazy on you. Yeah. A little bit of heart. What about this one? What about love, right? Yeah. I wonder if the guitar or mandolin was used on any of these songs, out of the 70s and 80s. Speaking of music, would you like to do one more blip game?
You like this blip game much more than I do.
Yeah, me too.
You guys hate the blip game?
We do.
Bad news.
What, more blip game?
Wise ass. Bad news. The lead singer of...
Oh, no. Heavens to... the lead singer of...
Do you know what that is?
Yeah.
What song is that?
Boom. Boom.
What song is that?
Boom.
It's like the most infectious song from the 80s that is so overplayed.
Which is with the animation,
Yeah.
the real life turns into the cartoon sketching animation.
I mean, really.
The reason why I'm bringing this up is the lead singer of Aha, the band is Aha, Take On Me, the lead singer, Morton Harkett.
Yeah.
Was he hitting the head with a plumber's wrench and beaten up by a bunch of goons?
Dude, he has Parkinson's disease.
Okay, well, in the video, he
All right.
gets swung at with a plumber's wrench.
There you go.
And a bunch of guys chasing down hallways.
He was diagnosed with Parkinson's disease, unfortunately. Yeah.
So no tour from them?
Well,
No, I want my 80s.
I mean, is it treatable?
tour.
I mean, don't they have medications for Parkinson's?
Well, it depends. I mean, some I don't know a ton about Parkinson's, but some Parkinson's is worse than others, and some is under control with medication, some not. Do you know where Aha is from? What country is Aha from?
Sweden.
No.
Is it like one of those kind of like is Norway or something or Scandinavia or Wales?
Well, just guess the freaking country.
Zimbabwe.
Yeah,
No, it's not.
Ethiopia. Kenya.
They're North Korean. No, I'm kidding. All right, so
now it makes sense. Aha, Mr. MJ.
the capital is Oslo.
That's Norway.
Yeah, Norway.
He said Norway.
Did you say Norway? I'm sorry.
It was like I said Sweden. Fester said Norway.
Is it one of those countries like Norway? And you're like, just guess. I'm like,
I'm sorry. I was like,
I just gave you the answer.
Yeah, it's Norway. So they were formed in '82 in Norway, and I wish the best for Morton Harkett, a name that nobody knows, but the front man who sings. Who has been diagnosed with Parkinson's, unfortunately. Yep. All right, 8:45 at the.
I'm sorry, he has Parkinson's, and I'm laughing over the aha.
Why? Well, no, you're not
You
laughing
said North
at
Korea.
Yeah, you're
I'm not laughing at him.
You're not laughing at the Parkinson's.
I mean, we have to say, T's and P's to that guy, right? Thoughts and prayers. I shortened it to T's
Listen,
and P's.
I wish him the best.
T's and P's, bro.
This is troubling. This really disturbed me when I saw this yesterday. That Generation Z parents are not reading to their kids because it's boring.
Some of these books suck.
Oh.
I mean,
Really?
Billy the Bear. He gets lost in the forest and he meets a turtle. Ugh, it's terrible.
Really? So the new books are terrible.
You know what I do? I go to Chat GPT and I say, give me a 5-minute kid story suitable for a 8-year-old, and it spits out a story in 5 seconds, and it's an original story that he never heard of before, and we read it off Chat GPT, and it's done.
No. What is that other thing that you do when Hudson wants you to tell him a story about an uncle something that always shows up and does something crazy?
Uncle Buck.
No. It's like, and you told me this, that you were riding in the car, and he'll say to you, like, tell me another something kind of story. And then you make up this kind of like long-winded, like, so this family of 4 was here. They were in a cabin eating in the woods. And you do this whole thing. And
every story, everything we talk about has a backstory. Nothing is just happens to be as it is. Well, you know who was here, Hudson.
Let me move on to what the actual story at hand here. So a teacher posed this important question. It's like, what's going on? And apparently this teacher, an elementary teacher, has pretty much surmised that the younger parents, the Generation Z parents, are not reading to their kids. And, even asking, why are you not reading out loud or aloud to your kids? And this became a whole Instagram thread as well. There was a video posted, I guess this teacher, saying, hey, I'm a teacher. What's going on? Apparently, I'm learning that younger Generation Z parents are not reading to their kids. They're saying it's boring. Why aren't you doing this? And, all kinds of responses are coming in. And I was appalled. I mean, I was mortified. I mean, reading to your kids, that is...
I mean, I'm honestly, I have a, bratty kids, and, I probably
do not.
I probably don't read to them as much as I need to or would like to. And the thing is, there's
Fester. I have bratty kids.
I mean, they do. I mean, it's a pain in the asses, but they they have their devices and we're watching. Maybe we're watching something as a family, or But yeah, I'm guilty of that. I don't think I read as much.
Speaking of crazy parenting, Andrew, our producer, this is a Disney item. So let's see if Andrew knows the Disney item I'm about to discuss. Andrew's answering phones right now. Andrew, are you listening to the show? All right. Yeah, he's got calls he's answering. All right. Andrew, this is a Disney item. Do you, because Andrew is our adult Disney weirdo, our producer on the show.
Hey, I resemble that remark.
Are you aware of the Disney stroller story?
Not the story that you're talking about.
Wait a sec. Did I find a Disney item that Andrew doesn't know about? Listen to this. A mother pushes her 8 and 10-year-old around Disney in a stroller. And she says she gives no bleeps, no Fs, what people think.
Yeah, Allison carried a stroller up until very recently, and she doesn't care. She's more comfortable pushing the stroller, and if the kid wants to crash, he has a place to go.
How someone chooses to parent their children, this is a post story, is a personal decision. But when you share on social media how you go about it, people are bound to share their ruthless opinions. That's what happened to a Massachusetts mom by the name of Nikki Marie when she posted a video online of herself pushing her 2 kids in a stroller while at Disney World. These were not like toddlers. We're not talking about a 2 and a 3-year-old. We're talking about an 8 and a 10-year-old getting pushed around in a stroller at Disney. Grown kids.
Yeah, that's fine.
What do you mean it's fine?
I got no issues with that.
I don't think an 8-year-old is a grown kid.
All right, listen, an 8 and a 10-year-old ought to be walking around Disney on their own and not being pushed in a stroller.
They ought to be, but you know what? If you're over on Adventureland and you're 45-minute walk to the car, and they're done.
Yeah.
Either you push
No,
them.
she's pushing around the whole park in the stroller.
Well,
yes, Andrew.
If these kids don't have any cognitive or physical issue, they should be able to handle without being pushed around in the stroller. But this is not a Disney story. This is a woman raising her kid story.
Yeah, but it happened to Disney, and anything Disney...
Apparently it happens everywhere from what you're saying.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, if she's always pushing the kids...
So it's not like the 8-year-old boy is missing a knee, all right?
Well, hold on. Now, MJ,
yes.
Is this an observer just critiquing this person's parenting? Because they may not know this kid. What if this kid does need assistance?
Nikki Marie said, no, the kid, nothing's wrong with the kids. So Nikki Marie says, when I got divorced, one of the things I thought was, how will I do Disney with just me and the 2 kids? She did an interview with Today, the Today Show, or at least online. To find a solution, Nikki Marie brought her stroller nicknamed Kim. Oh, she's a freak bag. The stroller's name is Kim?
Yeah, it's an acronym for Kids in Motion.
No, it's not. Really?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
No, I just thought of it.
You just made that up. I'm trying to let down my guard so my kids see me having fun. I bring a stroller because I'm anticipating what could go wrong. What? The kids are 8 and 10. Just walk. You're perfectly able-bodied. Technically, no one has publicly shamed this mom's stroller using ways, so she's the one doing the teasing. I'm making fun of myself before you point me out. Despite poking fun at herself, she doesn't think too much about what other people think, especially with her iconic voiceover choice in the video that said, and she gave no Fs. Oh, I've heard that. Someone posts a video of something, weird, and then the voiceover is, and she gave no Fs, F-bomb. I'm sorry, an 8 and a 10-year-old. I mean, what are you teaching your kid?
Yeah, listen,
Get off your lazy butts and you're 8 and 10. Walk around the freaking amusement park yourself.
Critiquing other parents is a losing battle.
Yeah,
big deal. It's like judging other people's marriages. You can't win. Look at yours.
Look at what?
Exactly.
What are you saying?
I'm just saying, judging other people's lives, especially when you're far outside of it, you don't know these people. It's a losing battle.
Yeah.
We got a Bradenton middle school teacher in trouble. Michelle and I, we've had a bunch of Florida teacher stories recently. And Michelle and I actually had a conversation a couple of days ago regarding when we were kids and our teachers. And there just seems to be something going on with a lot of teachers these days that just never occurred when we were in school. All right, what is it? We'll tell you next. Also, could Justin Bieber walk away with half of his wife's billion-dollar beauty fortune now that, she sold her company, this Hailey Bieber? All right, so what's going on with that? I got a lot of Hollywood celebrity stuff. Oh, Fester, you love the dollar store genre, that category?
Yes.
Guess what?
What?
Big Dollar General, they're seeing an increase in something interesting. What is happening at Dollar General? We'll tell you that coming up in just a minute. We got a lot of stuff. All next. Don't move. MJ Morning Show, Q105, 104.7 FM, and we got a lot in the final hour next. Don't move. It's minutes away. International Diamond Center has their June event going on right now, and you do not want to miss this. Whatever you do, it's happening right now. 0% interest financing. Yeah, 0.0. No finance charges, folks, for 5 years. Folks, 5 whole years. Make any purchase and enjoy low monthly payments for 5 years. This is until the year 2030 without a dime in interest. They're packed. We're talking engagement rings, wedding bands, eternity bands, earrings, pendants, largest selection ever of certified hand-picked diamonds and exclusive designer jewelry. So pick any item, get the value price and the quality you deserve, and then spread your payments out over 5 years with no interest. It's during the month of June only at IDC, International Diamond Center, Tampa, Clearwater, Lakeland, and Sarasota, and tell them that MJ sent you. So I told a story, and I can't mention the name. Listen, just work with me here. I want to mention the name, but for privacy purposes, I can't. A very, very well-known, prominent individual in the Tampa Bay area calls me up a couple of weekends ago and says, hey, they've got an F-150 that I want over at Veterans Ford. Can you make an introduction for me? And, of course, I offer this to all my listeners. If you would like an introduction to the management team at Veterans Ford, listen, they treat everyone well. But if you want the MJ treatment, you want maybe a little extra, just email me. Just send me an email, mj@mjmorningshow.com. Hey, MJ, can you introduce me to the management and Veterans Ford? Absolutely. So I get this, text. Hey, I'm looking at this Ford. They've got it at Veterans Ford. And very well-known Tampa individual, Tampa Bay area. And I'm not going to mention the name. And I hooked them up. And this was on a Sunday morning, and they drove out with the brand new vehicle the next morning. Had to get prepped and, service. It was like, later on Sunday that I got the text, and they're thrilled. They're like the best purchase they ever made. This well-known individual who picked up a new F-150 at Veterans Ford. Folks, get Ford employee pricing, get great service, get a great, absolute wonderful experience at Veterans Ford at Linebaugh and the Veterans Expressway. Veterans Ford, tell them that MJ sent you, or just send me an email. If you're making a move, don't have a miserable move. Oh, it's the difference between a good move and a really crappy move. It's a phone call, folks. Don't end up with a lousy move, whether it's you, could be a friend, a relative, a coworker, maybe your kids are moving. You want twocollegebrothers.com. That's going to be the smartest move you'll ever make. Twocollegebrothers.com. You're going to get amazing service. You'll get a great quote. They're going to stick to their number. They're going to wrap all your furniture in blankets. They're going to treat you well. Every aspect is going to be enjoyable when you work with Two College Brothers. Remember, you've got other similar names. You want Two College Brothers. You've got the others. Then you have Two College Brothers Moving and Storage. Mention me, MJ. They'll give you free moving boxes. They'll drop them off at your house. twocollegebrothers.com. The smartest move you'll ever make. At 8:58, traffic's on. Let's grab Schreiner with the latest MJ Morning Show. Back in minutes.
In Pinellas Park, we have an accident on 34th Street.
Morning Show. The 9 o'clock hour is upon us. As we dive right in. All right, first of all, I don't know what's going on. This has been, happening for, years, but for whatever reason, just in the last, couple of weeks, couple of months, we've had an influx of not only nationally, but locally and in the state of Florida, teachers, mixing it up with the students. And of course, it's a minority, but, these stories obviously are reported. They get a lot of attention, and it's just disgusting. But Michelle and I had a discussion a couple of days ago, and I think it might have been a whole different story, but the latest that I saw, is this Bradenton middle school teacher sending a nude photo of herself to a student?
What the hell are you thinking?
Yeah, so a Bradenton middle school teacher arrested. This was a Manatee County Sheriff's Office press release that came out. A 14-year-old at Carlos E. Hale?
Carlos Hale, yes.
Middle school.
Yes.
Told deputies that he was communicating with the teacher over Snapchat, and they began exchanging messages in December of last year. And the teacher, and this is odd, the teacher's name is this accurate? The teacher's name is Oliver?
Yes.
Her first name?
Yeah.
I've never heard of a female named Oliver.
You know what? I mean, Olive is the nickname. I mean, there's...
No, let me rephrase this. I have never heard of a female named Oliver.
Nor have I.
Okay.
And that's
it sounds like you're trying to justify
but
it.
I can see a cute female nickname out of Oliver, and there was a time when a lot of names are not ambidextrous. What is it?
Well, first of all, it's not ambidextrous.
What is it called?
Ambidextrous.
I said not ambidextrous.
No, you said ambidextrous. You added a whole new syllable to the word.
But what's ambidextrous then?
No, there's no ambidextrous.
But is that what you can use both hands, right?
Yeah, ambidextrous.
Is that the name or the hand? Or am I saying it wrong completely?
When you can use both hands, if you can be a righty or a lefty, if you can do things with both hands, you're ambidextrous.
Oh, so
it's not ambidextrous. You mispronounced the word.
Okay, so the word that you said, is that what you call names that are like boys and girls?
No, no.
It's like an ambidextrous.
No,
that's gender fluid.
No, that's the person, not the name.
I know what you're saying, but no, you don't use. But Oliver Fell, 28 years old.
Like a name like Chris.
Tell you what.
Yeah.
Oliver fell out of her teaching profession is what has happened here. So they started exchanging messages on Snapchat back in December of 24. Deputies during the investigation searched her phone, and the messages led to these apparently lewd conduct charges, accused of sending the student a photo of a nude breast. Yeah, a warrant was issued for her arrest on June 2nd, turned herself in. Fell was charged with lewd conduct with a student by an authority figure, a second-degree felony.
Okay, what happens to her now? I mean,
she's going to, first of all, be fired. She's not going to be a teacher and, licensed in the state of Florida anymore, most likely. Now, innocent until proven guilty. She gets her day in court.
I mean, we've heard of teachers that had really, 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 really awful interactions with students, and they get years and years and years in prison.
Yeah.
But what do you get for a boob?
She might get some prison time, or maybe fired, and maybe
90 days in jail?
Maybe branded a sex offender, or having, some type. That's possible. Also charged with transmission of harmful material to a minor. That's a third-degree felony. So we've got a couple of felony charges here for the teacher. But, this latest bout, this brought about a discussion that I had with Michelle, I think it was last week, over another teacher story. And it was the teacher that was having inappropriate email communications. And do you remember the conversation we had, Michelle?
Yeah.
We never had these communications and contact with teachers.
No. What it is that we never had contact outside of the classroom or outside of the school setting with any teachers or anything. I mean, if you were a member of some after-school activity like a sports,
club or a sports team,
they had a manager who was
like
another
like
student.
the Glee Club,
Right.
the debating team. Fester was in the eating club.
They had a manager.
I was the president 2 years.
They had a manager of that team, like the football, team.
Had a coach.
But they'd have a coach, but then they would have somebody who was a manager who was a student who couldn't make the team, who was always somebody, but was a good student, right?
Yeah.
And that person would be responsible for doing the phone calling if, like, practice was canceled because of weather or somebody needed to bring something because they'd been your coach or your teacher never called you to say anything.
My daughter knew how to reach every one of her 7th grade teachers via email.
Well, that's new.
And
with the advent of email, which has been around, really, email since what? Really, the mid-'90s? Yeah. So email, let's say mid-'90s, Michelle and I, you graduated in the 80s. I graduated in 1984. And you graduated, what, 87? 88?
88. 89.
So the bottom line here is that the technology didn't exist to us having communication with the teachers via email. We didn't have teachers' home phone numbers. There were no cell phones back when we were in school.
Yeah.
But we just didn't have any real communication outside of regular school is what I'm All right, guess what time it is, ladies and gentlemen? Oh, I look forward to this time every single day. Yes, Andrew, you're correct. It is 9:08. When I said, guess what time it is? Yes, 9:08 would be the correct time. But it is time for the Michelle Diddy courtroom update.
All right.
Yes.
I have to say, the Michelle Diddy courtroom update is going to be one of my favorite segments.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
I really look forward
Let's hope this trial ends quickly. Got a couple more weeks here, right?
What's the big thing from yesterday's federal court trial?
The big news from yesterday was the account of Diddy hanging Cassie's friend over her balcony and threatening to kill her.
All right, can I ask, what the hell is the deal with rappers hanging people over balconies?
It sends a message, dude.
I mean,
who's the other big balcony story?
Suge Knight and Vanilla Ice.
Yep. Suge Knight allegedly hung Vanilla Ice over a balcony in South Beach, like 20-something stories up. And Suge Knight, who, by the way, he's serving like a 20-something year prison sentence, isn't he? Suge Knight is incarcerated.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Suge Knight allegedly dangled Vanilla Ice. Word to your mother. Ice, baby. Over a balcony. And now we hear that
Brianna Bongolan, I don't know how to say her name. She was a friend of Cassie's. She was staying over at her place in September of 2016.
Right.
And was awakened to Diddy, pounding on the door. So she went and answered the door.
Like Wilma!
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she claims that he picked her up by her armpits and held her above the balcony's railing and yelled at her and then threw her down onto the balcony. And she has pictures of like a bruise on her leg and bandages on her back. She has a neck brace the same day.
But this
the next day.
Michelle, this was 17 floors up. This was not like a 2-story condo balcony.
Right.
Cassie Ventura's friend, what are you saying, Brianna Bongohead?
Yeah.
What was her name?
Bongolan.
Bungaloese.
Bungaloon. Right. So Brianna was dangled over a 17th floor balcony, and Diddy was yelling at her.
Yeah. But the defense says, weren't your feet resting on the balcony when he did this? Like, it's okay. Like, he was dangling her over, but weren't her feet kind of resting on something to, help prop herself up? Like, it happened, but weren't your feet still kind of touching something so you were going to be okay in case he dropped you? No! I can't imagine that. But then they also said that she sort of claimed initially that he sexually assaulted her at the same time.
Diddy was allegedly yelling at the friend.
Yeah.
Quote, "You know what the F you did."
You know.
Who knows?
So says Diddy.
But then also Diddy once threw a knife.
No. So what happened is, I guess on the way out the door, he threw a knife at
At Cassie?
Brianna.
At Brianna.
But then Cassie threw a knife at him, and there's some discrepancy as to whether that happened in the hallway or the kitchen, but the knife obviously missed the intended target on both ways.
My
so.
God, it's like a Ginsu commercial.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, can I play some audio? This might have been a couple of months ago.
Right.
This is from Colin Jost when the reports were first coming out on SNL.
Okay.
And he brings up a fantastic point.
All right, go ahead. Roll it.
A woman has filed a lawsuit against Diddy, accusing him of assault and dangling her off a 17-story balcony, which is just incredible grip strength for a guy coated in baby oil.
He's right.
That's true.
I mean, it's just an incredible, account of events, and then also we got to see the video again of the Intercontinental Hotel episode.
Right.
This was for the purpose of the forensic video analyst going through the video and validating that it has not been tampered with, because the defense has said over the course of time, it's sped up, it's been chopped together here and there, it's out of sequence or whatever. But they did have a forensic video analyst go through it and say, nope, it's all time stamped and it's
all
not
legit.
It's not been tampered with.
Right.
And at this point in time,
hasn't been AI'd up good.
Right. One of the female jurors was observed wiping her brow and nodding with some pursed lips. And Diddy's defense team apparently gave a big sigh.
Oh, wow.
Because they do not want that video shown, because every time they show it, it just, reprints
reinforces,
in the jury's head. So, whether that's going to be enough. And they did have some evidence. I don't know whether it was yesterday or the day before. They're sprinkling in some of his key people in his organization and totally showing how he ran this operation and instructed everybody and paid them or made them work long hours and gave them instructions, but also then controlled them. I think it was this Brianna also, she got, maybe it was her or one of the other assistants was pulled over on the way to work one morning because she was speeding and she was going to be late. And she was telling the law enforcement officer, you got to let me go. I'm going to be late. I'm going to be in so much trouble. She was in fear of being late to him. And he said, well, who do you work for? And she's like, Diddy. And he goes, well, I'm a big fan. Get him on the phone right now. So she did. She called him up and Diddy was chatting with the law enforcement officer and she was let go to no ticket.
Wow.
On her way. And so in her mind, it reinforced the power of Diddy.
Diddy said, you let her go now, or I'm going to hunt you down and dangle you over a 17-story balcony.
But you see time and time again when people tried to interacted with law enforcement or people that they thought were in authority to help them or in a position to help them, and Diddy was able to make those people go away and resolve that issue. So if you are in that situation, do you really think you have any help on the outside to either help you get out of that situation or make a phone call? You're sort of in this club of victims all together.
Yeah, he's so powerful, so connected with everybody.
Yeah.
Anybody, are you done? I think that's it.
I'm done.
Yeah, that's the.
Are you done?
That's the
I'm
big
done
stuff.
with
Yeah,
that.
that's a quick Diddy update from yesterday. All right, if you're witnessing right now, or maybe you already saw it, or maybe you're passing by it right now, or maybe you're in line, or maybe you're in a parking lot somewhere, have you seen any lines, or are you related to anyone that's in line for the Nintendo Switch 2, which goes on sale today? After 8 years, people have been waiting for the next version of the Nintendo Switch, and it's out today. This is it. So just out of curiosity, anyone in line, any friends, relatives in line waiting? What time does Target open?
8.
Yeah.
So Target's already open.
Yeah.
Did some of the stores open up at an early hour?
Maybe. I don't think they did that. Best Buy opens at 10, so Best Buy doesn't open up for 45 minutes. But I got to believe there are people waiting in line. In fact, I've had an audio bite of a kid waiting in line for 5 days now, waiting in line to be first in to get the Nintendo Switch. And there are pictures and videos from
all over the country,
news operations around the country of people waiting in line for the Nintendo Switch. Anybody? 800-990-1047. Or if Target opened at 8, anyone already get a Nintendo Switch at Target? 800-990-1047. 800-990-1047. Just out of curiosity. Are you in a Target parking lot? Are you in a Best Buy parking lot right now? Do you see lines? Who else will sell the Nintendo Switch? 800-990-1047. And were you lucky enough to already grab one this morning?
Okay, so Nintendo Switch 2 release nationwide in midnight launch. So,
well, some places maybe opened at midnight earlier this morning.
I'm looking at this line wrapped around a Target in Philadelphia, and these guys, were let in at midnight.
All right, well, some places did special midnight sales. All right, phones are ringing. Andrew, can you grab the calls, please? 800-990-1047. 800-990-1047. So I'm holding a corporate press release from Target. This is from corporate.target.com. Nintendo Switch 2 is coming to Target June 5th. That's today. Here's everything you need to know. And they have a 5-page release on buying a Nintendo Switch at Target.
It did say everything you need to know.
Families, fans, gamers, start your engines. After 8 years, Nintendo is introducing the next generation of its beloved system. The Nintendo Switch 2 system officially launches at Target on June 5th. It's a huge deal for gamers and Nintendo fans. When pre-orders went live on Target.com April 24th, they sold out in less than 2 hours. The Nintendo Switch 2 and Nintendo Switch 2 Plus Mario Kart Word Bundle will be available at Target stores on June 5th before becoming available on the Target app and Target.com the next day, June 6th, all while supplies last. Additional software, blah, blah, blah. So then they have a whole tutorial, how to shop on June 5th. Oh, drive my car to the parking lot. I park the car. I get out. I walk into the store. All right. So now that you've marked your calendars, here's what you need to know for June 5th. And I'll go to phone calls here. Phones are lighting up. You can begin lining up in the designated queuing location at the entrance of each Target store before stores open on Thursday, June 5th. Target team members will distribute physical or digital tickets which will reserve your product for purchase. Limited stock is available. Ticketing will take place until all tickets have been claimed or 10 minutes prior to store opening. Ticketed guests will be directed to the electronics area of the store to purchase and pick up their product. Due to high demand, there will be a purchase limit of 1 product per item per guest for the Nintendo. So you can't go in there and say, I'll take 5.
Yeah, give me 100 of them.
Yeah, I'll take them all.
Put them in a box.
Anyway, so that's it. Let me go to phones. How about Richard in Tampa? Oh, Richard saw the line. Hey, Richard, welcome to the MJ Morning Show.
Hey, good morning, everybody. How y'all doing?
We're doing well, Richard. What do you see at Target? Which location?
The Gandy location. I was there at 8 o'clock this morning to do other business, and there was already a line out front.
How many people were waiting at Gandy and Dale Mabry at Target?
I think there was probably good about 15 people, say.
That's not terrible.
So the line wasn't crazy long.
Yeah, so they probably all got
open, people just rushed in, and I saw people walking out with some stuff. But,
yeah. I wonder, and you're not going to know this, Richard, and I don't. I wonder how many pieces they had. I wonder how many Nintendo Switch 2s Target had. If there were 15 people in line, did they all get one?
3.
Did they have 50 of? Yeah.
I saw some people walking out with some, one bag each, but I didn't stick around to really kind of count who was going out.
Gotcha. All right, thank you, Richard. I really appreciate you calling in.
No worries, MJ. Take care.
By the way, Michelle, that Target parking lot, that's where the guy, the pervert, was taking pictures of women.
I know.
And looking at women.
Yep.
Yeah, it was the Target parking lot at Dale Mabry and Gandy years ago where this turned out he was an Air Force guy at MacDill, and he was putting notes on women's cars. Hey, look, take a look at your rear right tire or rear left tire. Your air is low. And then he got his kicks out of seeing women bend over to look at their tires. And then we told the story on the air. Then women started flooding our show. Oh, that happened to me. And then a whole TPD investigation started, and they found the guy.
Yeah.
And he was like some type of Air Force enlistee down at MacDill. Paul is in Gibsonton. Paul, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi, Paul.
How are you, buddy?
We're doing well, Paul. What's the deal?
My son, he's such a gamer. He got off of work last night about midnight, 11:30, I think it was. He's still up there waiting to get his off Bloomingdale.
All right, do you know where he is in line? What number is he in line?
I don't know. I know that he's been there all night long. So
was he given one of those tickets?
Yeah, the reason why I know is because his car's still parked in my driveway, so I know he's still up there.
All right, do me a favor, Paul. I got to take a break here. I'm going to put you on hold. Can you give Andrew your son's cell number? And if you could call or text your son and let him know that the MJ Morning Show wants to call him live in about 5 minutes.
Okay, yes, I can do that.
All right,
I can do that.
awesome. You have the technology. All right, I'm going to put you on hold. Andrew, if you can just get Paul's son's phone number. And, Paul, you got to text your son or call him and say we're going to call him in 5 minutes, all right?
Right. Yes, sir. I'll call him.
All right, hold on a sec. Andrew, pick up line 2 and do the information exchange. Yeah, I want to talk to a guy actually in line. And then you got this guy here. This guy was on a story on Channel 8 this morning. And this guy was first in line.
I started on June 1st, all the way till now. I've been vlogging my experience on YouTube. My channel is JBrick. I would say that this Switch is probably very awesome with the new features, the 4K, the mouse controls, the games, the Mario Kart, all the new upgrades from the original one. Just makes this one like way better and just like super awesome.
All right, so that's what's his name? Jason. Jason's in line since June 1st. That was freaking Sunday. This guy's been in line since Sunday at a Target store or Best Buy, wherever the hell he was. All right, 9:22. We're going to try to get Paul's son on the phone next. And we got a lot more we got to get to. I didn't get to the Justin Bieber. Will he get half of Haley's bill?
Are they breaking up?
Well, no. Hold, hang on a second. I'll fill you in next. And then Dollar General. There's an interesting little Dollar General deal here, buddy. All right, we got a lot of stuff. Final segment, final chunk. MJ Morning Show is next. So I would highly encourage you to stand by because we are packed and loaded with MJ content next. When your garage door needs some attention, who do you call? Who's the best garage door service around? That's going to be Banco. You don't need to think about that for even a nanosecond. Yeah, instantly. When you hear garage doors, you should always think of Banco first. Their service techs are different. Their service technicians, by the way, carry parts on their trucks. They can fix any make, any model garage door opener. They're team members, and they're all part of the Banco team. They only have W-2 employees. They don't use subcontractors. You've got Banco that's been in business since 1984. Folks, that's 41 years. They've been in business since the year I graduated high school. You can bank on Banco. Anything garage door related, when you need service, broken spring, whatever, bank on Banco. Banco is the best. Bank on the best. That's Banco. BancoDoors.com. That's BancoDoors.com. And tell them that MJ sent you. Another awesome service company is Plan B AC. They just completed the new zone in my house. I had an air conditioning zone. It was not really repairable. It was just cost prohibitive. We put in a brand new Daikin unit, and it's fantastic. My first experience, and just really nice system. So I've got multiple systems in my house, and Plan B Air Conditioning just replaced one of my dead systems. If you need a new air conditioning system, they are honest. They'll tell you if you really need one or if it can be serviced effectively. Don't spend too much. Don't get the runaround from other air conditioning companies. When it is hot outside and you need cold air and it's blowing hot or it's not coming on at all, you want Plan B AC. 813-PLAN-B-AC or PlanBAirConditioning.com. Anything air conditioning related, it's Plan B Air Conditioning. Mention me, MJ, get 10% off. Oh, also, like with Banco, mention me, MJ, 10% off. So Plan B Air Conditioning, get 10% off. It's PlanBAirConditioning.com. Make sure you mention the MJ Morning Show. 9:25. And, before the Plan B, I did the Banco garage door commercial. I forgot to mention, when you call Banco, ask for the 10% MJ discount with BancoDoors.com as well. Traffic's on. Let's grab Shriner. The final check. We're back in just a minute. kind of sucks. Yeah, Andrew's been repeatedly calling the son of the guy that called us before the break, trying to get hold of his son who's in line at, Best Buy? Trying to get a Nintendo Switch, too, and keeps going to voicemail. Andrew, does that pretty much sum it up? Is that, so he's not, did you send him a text? Well, they can't see you nod your head on the radio.
We can't hear him not talking to his on-air mic.
Can you talk on the air, Andrew?
Yes, I'm going to voicemail, and yes, I've texted him.
All right. Has he responded to your text?
No.
Maybe he hates me. Maybe the son hates the show.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going on that piece of crap show. Yeah, so if you were listening before, you know what happened before the break, and if you're just tuning in now we're talking about the Nintendo Switch, and this guy called up, and his son is actually in line at Best Buy waiting for their doors to open at 10 a.m. to get a Nintendo Switch. I wanted to talk to him in line because today's the big day. All right, 9:32 at the MJ Morning Show. So think about this for a second. I made a statement that this could be a problem. Hailey Bieber, the attractive model who has her own cosmetics line, just sold her cosmetics line for about $1 billion. I'm sure there are partners. I'm sure she's not getting all $1 billion on the deal. But I made a statement that, Justin Bieber could walk away with half of whatever Hailey Bieber makes from her cosmetic line. Why would I say that? Michelle?
I don't know, because I haven't heard anything about them possibly breaking up.
Well, I didn't say that.
Is he an investor?
No. I never said they were breaking up. The question is if they break up.
Why is this news?
Because there's no prenup, apparently.
Okay.
So the rumors are that Hailey Bieber and Justin Bieber have no prenuptial agreement, and if there's a split, and listen, Justin's got some issues, and I feel bad for the guy. Listen, I'm empathetic here.
Oh, he's not leaving her. But she's the hottest thing he'll ever have.
Yeah, but listen, I feel bad. He's having, I think some mental issues.
She's taking care of him.
Listen, she seems like a very supportive
Yeah.
wife.
Yeah.
I mean, and in this scope of Hollywood or celebrity marriages, and he's has his eccentricities and his baggage, she seems nothing but supportive.
Can you imagine she's that smoking hot and she's supportive? When you see somebody that's
all right,
when you see that someone that's smoking hot, you just don't see them as like, mentally invested.
She gets a lot of hate too, by the way.
Why?
Because, Justin and Selena Gomez dated off and on for so long, and all the fans were like so hopeful that they would end up together. And then they were off, and then they were on for like this brief moment in time. And then they didn't say whether they were like dating or anything. They were just sort of together. And then the next thing you knew, he was not with Selena, and he was marrying Hailey Bieber. And she gets all kinds of heat on the internet, like, I don't know, Instagram or, just
From
trolls on the
Selena
internet.
Gomez trolls?
Yes, they're like, you stole him from her or whatever. And she's like, she just has to tune it out because, this is the life she just, but when you stop, so you're talking about how hot she is, right? And then I saw this.
She is.
I saw this comparison of look what Selena Gomez ended up with. Oh,
what?
It's some record producer that I think maybe he dated Lena Dunham or something, and I was
Lena
like,
Dunham.
Yeah, it's you would know the name if I said it.
That would
Is
make
it
me.
Aronoff?
Tell you what, that would make me go to guys.
I mean, when you look at what Justin ended up with and look at what Selena Gomez is dating now, you're just kind of like, oh.
But what's interesting?
Benny Blanco?
Yeah, that one. She went from another one to that one now.
What is the interesting similarity between Hailey Bieber and Selena Gomez?
That they both did the makeup lines.
Well,
and they're both like
they're
billionaires.
both moguls in their own space.
All right, so legit, I think that Selena Gomez is classified as a billionaire. I think that her net worth is actually in excess of $1 billion. It's like 1 point something billion.
She's a singer,
right?
An actress, an entrepreneur. I mean, she's like trifecta.
She's a quintuple threat.
Yeah.
All right, but here's the deal. I mean, so you have Hailey Bieber started a cosmetics line and just sold it for allegedly $1 billion, and then Selena Gomez, she had her cosmetic line as well. So that's just, I mean, what are the odds of having two girlfriends, both with cosmetic lines, and they both sell for $1 billion? I mean,
in that space, though, everybody has a cosmetic line.
Yeah.
I mean, all the Kardashians have a cosmetic line.
Yeah.
You know, all these young up-and-coming starlets
I need to start.
invest in a
You
cosmetic
think
line.
I could start a cosmetics line?
I mean,
MJ's makeup.
You know what? I mean, if you
M Jizzle.
Oh, that's not the name.
No, go, baby.
All right. All right.
No, I wouldn't go with M Jizzle.
All right, don't do that.
If you had a product,
faux shizzle.
if you had a product that made you look remarkably better than you do, you would fly off the shelves. I mean, look what it did to this guy.
Anyway, the reason why Justin Bieber could get half
Mm-hmm.
of Hailey Bieber's $1 billion cosmetics fortune is allegedly they do not have a prenup. They never signed it.
Good for them.
Speaking of money, Dollar General. Fester, that's in your wheelhouse, in your purview. Can you list again in order of your favorite dollar-themed stores? Like
All right.
what's number
All right.
one, two,
Number one's the Dollar Tree.
Okay, that's number one.
Even though we've had some recent issues, I'm not happy with their current pricing structure.
Because it's the $1.50 tree now? Or
No, it's $1.25.
The $1.25 tree?
They have like, a dollar plus section. There's like $3 stuff. They have $5
so it's
things.
it's the $3 tree?
Yeah, I mean,
The $5 tree?
the Dollar Tree really just threw a hand grenade into their whole business model. Still, great store.
Okay.
My favorite of all.
All right, so that's number one.
Yes.
Even with the problems.
Yes.
What's number two?
The Family Dollar.
All right, number two. Family Dollar.
And then there's Dollar General.
Okay. The story I have, so your last place is Dollar General.
Yes.
All right, well, the story I have is about Dollar General.
But I do follow some crazy couponers that really know how to work Dollar General's coupon ad.
Work them over?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, did you get any leads when I plugged your RV sales?
No, not at all. Thank you very much. Anyway, what's happening at Dollar General?
All right, so Dollar General is seeing an increase in this type of shopper. Do you know an increase in this type of shopper at Dollar General?
I have a guess.
What's your guess?
I guess we're in some kind of economic times.
Yes, we are in some economic kind of times.
Yeah. So maybe a customer who doesn't traditionally shop at Dollar General.
Okay, expand the conversation.
Like rich people?
I'm going to go with that. Yeah, Dollar General is seeing a higher number of higher income shoppers at their stores because even people with higher incomes, the non-traditional Dollar General shopper is looking to extend their spending power, stretch their buck.
I mean, I don't really care where you land on the economic spectrum. If, looking for value in your dollar makes sense, right?
I agree.
Yeah.
I think I'm somewhat frugal. I mean, listen, I do like some nice things here and there.
Spend money when you need or want to, but otherwise,
Yeah.
if you don't have to pay the crazy high price and get the same or a similar product, I'm with you.
All right, listen to this. This is crazy. A California father had the cops called on him because a neighbor thought that a homeless man was stealing a baby. So it's the father and his baby, and the neighbor thought, oh, my God, a homeless man is stealing that baby, kidnapping the baby. And it's the father that apparently he's a little unkempt and disheveled. And the neighbor in the neighborhood called the cops thinking, oh, my God, somebody's stealing the baby. It's like the Lindbergh case all over again.
That's awful. I mean, is that a good neighbor or a...
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, I would want my neighbor to tell me if a homeless person's picking up my kid.
Like a good neighbor. When a homeless man is starting to steal your kid, you call the cops.
But his appearance was so different that he didn't recognize it was his neighbor?
Apparently so.
Okay, that's weird.
He doesn't go to any of the HOA meetings. He has no idea who
A
it is.
California dad was, I guess, disheveled, tired. I'm looking at a picture. The guy looks like he's a mess. He was out for a walk with his newborn, and a concerned neighbor thought that a homeless man was kidnapping the kid and called 911.
I mean, it sounds like something that the police can quickly sort out.
Yeah.
Chapman Hamburg Hello, I'm Chapman Hamburg. 33 years old, was out walking his kid in Huntington Beach in California.
All right, I'm looking at a picture of this guy, and he really does look.
He looks like he just crawled out of a refrigerator box.
Yeah. He's a mess.
That's an interesting look.
Yeah, isn't it? Well, I don't know what's going on there.
Yeah.
So his daughter is Florence, an infant, and is that like a baby Bjorn he's got on?
Yes, yes.
He's got a baby Bjorn on, and you got the neighbor thinks that, oh my God, this guy's ripping off a kid, calls 911. Yeah, he just with his stained jeans, he had tattered slippers, some kind of baggy, brown, awful-looking old Patagonia jacket on.
I mean, he looks super. Here he is. Let me refresh it. Here he is talking.
Yeah. Do you have it?
Yeah, I think so.
All right.
No. He just
Someone called the cops on me thinking that I was a homeless person with a baby.
Stop.
So the
No,
cop
they
needs to see my ID.
Stop.
Yeah.
Stop. No, they didn't.
Yeah.
Stop.
So she followed me home and I was walking the baby.
No, they didn't.
Yes. This is what I looked like wearing my Patagonia jacket.
Yeah.
Wait.
Stained jeans. He's got skid marks in his underwear.
Right?
You get in trouble about this for the rest of your guys' life.
It's just hilarious.
I
mean, I
you
used-
going for a walk or something?
Yeah, I mean, I do it like every, like,
I mean,
3
you are
times a
wearing your
day.
slippers.
This lady lives, I think, a street over. She saw you. She got worried. So she followed you and then saw you walk in.
Oh, my goodness.
I mean, sorry.
That's so funny.
Oh, man. So that's the video. That's
so the
audio.
neighbor
Yeah.
doesn't know him. He lives like 2-3 blocks over. So that guy's the father, huh?
Yeah, he has like a man bun going on, but it's all disheveled and stringy, and
He looks a mess.
and he's got his hair up in a man bun. And,
Yeah.
you know, I don't think guessing him for homeless is really that far off the mark.
I'm all for going out looking like crap, but he looks like crap.
Hey, Andrew, any luck with the kid in line?
No luck?
He must hate us.
Must.
Yeah, Andrew, have you tried again? And we don't have the number for the father. All right. Well, if you're still listening, the guy that called in said that his son was waiting in line at Best Buy to get a Nintendo Switch 2 when they open up. Your son's not picking up. I don't know if you're ever going to get a hold of him. Maybe he's a Calta fan. I don't know. Maybe he doesn't want to talk to us.
Screw those guys. MJ. MJ can suck it.
Exactly.
I'm not going on his show.
I'm getting my Switch. I'm not talking to that bitch. Speaking of money, and guess what's going up in Tampa Bay? Guess what is the second largest increase in the United States, and it's happening right here in Tampa Bay?
Property taxes.
Well, you're close. The rent. Rent in Tampa Bay has the second largest increase in the country.
Really? Why?
Yep.
I don't get it either.
Yeah, so median rent in the Tampa Bay area, this includes Clearwater, St. Petersburg, Tampa, up by 4.2% year over year, which is ahead of the national average. Do you know what the median rent is? To rent a place per month, what do you think the median rent is?
But what kind of place?
Yeah, I mean, these apartments that are out there now run the gamut.
Yeah.
All right, listen.
Yeah, I'm listening.
Whether it's a 1-bedroom, 2-bedroom, 3, whatever it is, just I'm talking about the median rent. People, we're talking about either a house or an apartment. This is a Redfin data. So the Redfin website, which is sort of the competitor to
Zillow.
Yeah.
Zillow's out now.
Zillow out, Redfin in?
Yeah. Zillow changed their whole model. They don't list everything the way they used to, so people are really angry about it.
Really?
And, yeah.
It doesn't put you can sponsor your ad.
Right.
You've seen more.
So people are done with Zillow?
Yeah.
They
Redfin
wanna-
or Realtor.com, I think.
They want to use the Zillow pillow and smother them while they sleep?
Maybe.
Go to LoopNet.
Yeah. What?
LoopNet.
What's that?
Commercial properties.
Oh, really?
Oh.
Are you looking at? So I'm driving with Julian yesterday.
Yeah.
I went to pick up something. I was off of Cypress, so we were on Cypress, and we had to do a detour. So we're going down Cypress toward downtown, and a section was all closed off, so we had a detour, and then we end up next to this old cigar factory. And Julian's like, what is that? I said, hey, it looks like an old cigar factory. And it was. And Julian looked it up. He found some historical website with old buildings. Yeah. And there's an abandoned cigar factory off of Cypress near maybe Albany, like downtown area, before you get to downtown. And Julian's like, man, that's a cool building, man. We got to turn that into a, loft apartments or an event space. So now Julian's thinking about, he's like, hey, Dad, you want to buy this with me? I got to be honest, Julian. I don't know if that looks very structurally sound.
But it's probably some hidden traps in there, man.
No, but
it's kind of like a money pit, Julian.
But that old cigar factory, it's in between like Cypress and Kennedy.
Mm-hmm. Is it McDill?
No, it's not. It's not. I don't know. Maybe it was.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of a cool building, but I just don't know how structurally sound it is. Anyway, the point is we're driving, and Julian was talking about, oh man, what would that cost, and what? But the bottom line is that if you're looking at rents in the Tampa Bay area, regardless of what it is, according to Redfin, the rent in the Tampa Bay area has the second highest increase in the whole country. The median asking rent is $1,805 a month. $1,805.
I would have guessed $2,000, but yeah.
So pretty close. But that's the highest in the country right now. Second highest, rather.
Who's highest?
I don't have that information.
$1,805.
$1,805.
I mean, and that's including all like the $1,200 efficiency apartments. That's including all the $3,000 3-bedroom apartments.
It's the average.
Yeah, no, the median is not the average.
The median is the middle.
Yeah, the median's the middle.
All right, so that's the middle.
Yeah, I was just trying to relate that to what we paid when we first moved here. We were renting.
What did we? Do you remember what we paid?
$1,100 a month.
We did.
And you got like 1 month free, which then you like made that you figured out how that would average us down to like under $1,000 or something. For the 14 months we were there.
In the rental unit.
Yeah.
Before we bought our first house.
So it's really not much higher than that.
And we became homeowners.
Yeah, but now that place that you were on off of Gandy near Bayshore is probably like $3,500 a month.
You think so?
Maybe. It all averages out.
Yeah, it's 4807 Bayshore.
Yeah.
But I was saying something. There was a reason why I was talking about this. I lost track. We know what I was saying?
No.
Julian wanted to build loft apartments out of the cigar factory. And you're like, it looks like a big money pit, son.
No.
It's easy now. Let's not put the investment in that.
There was some other reason why I was talking about running an errand yesterday.
Because we're talking about, I don't know.
I
brought up a site called LoopNet for commercial properties. Then you said we're running errands, and then we brought up the cigar.
All right, 9:49 at the MJ Morning Show. I think that we're going to end it right here. I think we're going to call it. I think we're going to call it quits for the day.
Call it a day?
Yep. We're off to work out. You know what they say? A husband and wife that work out together, they stay together.
Yeah, because you keep your eye on the trainer.
Okay.
Best go with her.
Yeah, it's workout time. Oh, I got to meet my buddy.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Michelle loves. I got to meet Dave. I got to pick up some 12-round.
All right.
All
Not doing that today. I'm going for breakfast.
No. He's meeting us right at the side of our workout.
Okay.
He's got some.
You better make it quick.
Dave's got some.
I got a date for breakfast.
What do you mean a date with whom?
Julian.
Oh, you going to breakfast with Julian?
He heard us talking. He's like, I'm hungry for pancakes. I said, okay, let's go.
All right, so let's get out of here. We're going to work out right now, and I got to meet Dave because he's got a handful of additional 12-round P365 mags for me, okay?
Great.
Right, I got to do a little cash transaction in the middle of the street.
Yeah.
Don't shoot yourself.
Yeah, really.
All right, we got to roll. Folks, have a phenomenal day. We'll see you back here tomorrow morning. MJ Morning Show on Q105, 104.7 FM, and let's be careful out there.
People say Fester is a large, rude man.
Download the app now. Get the Q105 app and listen to us anywhere. Powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747...